Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is really doing sort of a little bit of a deeper dive into the feuds and the frenemies and all of that between Kyle Richards, Lisa Vanderpump, and Dorit Kemsley, not to mention that Kyle Richards' daughter, Farrah, just her house got robbed, which is really scary, but we'll dive into that as well. And then also the feud we did not know we needed, but Lisa Vanderpump versus Jax Taylor. We will talk about that as well. But before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget that as you come into the room, if you're watching this live, be sure to say hi, drop something in the chat, and yeah, let's have a really fun and lively discussion, everybody. So with that, let's start off with our first story. So, unfortunately, yesterday, or perhaps the day before, it was revealed that Kyle Richards' daughter, Farrah, her LA home was burglarized. And they basically stole her handbags, her jewelry in broad daylight. I mean, these thieves and robbers, they are getting bolder and bolder and bolder. We've seen that. Allegedly, Kyle's home was burglarized once or twice. Allegedly, Dorit Kemsley's house was robbed once or twice. Crystal Kong Minkoff's house was just robbed while she was in Japan. Wendy Osefo's house was robbed while she was, I want to say Jamaica or someplace like that, on holiday with her husband and her kids. Also, Anila's house from Married to Medicine was burglarized a couple years ago. Now, with all of that being said, my personal opinion is, do I believe all of these robberies are legit? Maybe, maybe not. But do I believe some of them are legit? I do. So let's dive into what happened to Farrah. All right, so this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Kyle Richards' oldest daughter, Farrah, or maybe it's Farrah. Farrah was targeted with a home robbery on Tuesday afternoon in broad daylight. According to a new report, the 35-year-old buying Beverly Hills Stars Los Angeles residence was broken into by thieves who reportedly got away with several expensive handbags and nearly all of her jewelry after forcing their way in and disabling her Wi-Fi. On April 23rd, sources told TMZ, and I do have the video from TMZ. We'll watch it after the article. That Farrah's home was broken into around 1 p.m. and that Farrah, who Kyle shares with her first husband, wasn't home at the time. They also noted that the robbers got away with a lot of Farrah's belongings, although an exact estimate wasn't given. After reportedly forcing open a door to her residence, the thieves cut her Wi-Fi off, potentially to disable surveillance cameras. However, as TMZ noted, the break-in was likely still captured, at least in part, from different angles around her property. Following the incident, she and her Real Housewives of Beverly Hills mom were seen speaking to investigators. Okay, now, am I a little cynical? Am I a little suspect when it comes to all of these home robberies and insurance scams? Yeah, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in conspiracy over here with the candy canes. I personally didn't buy Kyle Richards' house robbery story. It just didn't make any sense. It happened with Teddy Mellencamp's husband, Eddie. His shady, surveillance safety company was the one who did it. He was Dorit Kemsley, when she also allegedly got robbed, it was the same exact shady security system by Teddy Mellencamp's husband. Now, as we know, there's been questions around both of those robberies. We've seen Kyle wear jewelry and handbags that she had alleged had gotten stolen. Like Garcelle so flawlessly said in her confessional that she doesn't notice jewelry except for the fact that, Dorit, after her robbery, she still had hers. And her robbers were so nice and kind to just leave her iPhone, which is a very expensive phone that she could use to, I don't know, maybe call the police, delicately by the gate for her to come and get. So all of these things are very, very suspect. Now, does the apple fall far from the tree when it comes to, is Farrah kind of following in her mother's footstep with these sort of sketchy robberies where it just so happens all of your jewelry is taken, all of your designer handbags, which I'm sure is all insured? Hey, I'm not saying it's fake. I'm not saying it's real. I'm just saying this is what happened to her. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this robbery is real, or do you think there's some questions going on that we've had about other robberies? Okay. While sources said that she is understandably shaken up over the incident, Kyle confirmed she is, quote, doing fine when confronted by a photographer after the unsettling ordeal. Yes, she's fine, she stated. Now, if Kyle, who claims to have every anxiety disorder in the world, and I'm not being shady or disrespectful about mental health, I'm just saying how Kyle is, in the world, she's like scared of everything. For her to be so flippant and to say her daughter is fine after her daughter's house was broken into reminds me of PK, Paul Kemsley, Dorit's husband, who kind of laughs at Dorit when she says she has PTSD from being, robbed. He's like, I don't believe it. It sounds like a bunch of BS, because we're all like, yeah. He's like, sweetheart, in my mind, again, allegedly, he's like, we planned this for the insurance money. Like, you knew the robbery was fake. Why do you have PTSD from this fake robbery we planned? Because we got all these millions of dollars that I just so happened to pay off my gambling debts with, right? So to me, it's kind of like Kyle, who is like, acts like she's scared of like a mouse. She's always so anxious and just running around, and, she can't even talk. Is like, yeah, my daughter's fine. Girl, all of the slips are showing. As noted by TMZ, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department is conducting an investigation into the robbery at Farrah's home, and no arrests have been made at this point. It is also unclear how many thieves actually broke into the home. As Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fans may know, the robbery comes just years after Kyle and Mauricio Umansky's $8.2 million Encino home was targeted by thieves who reportedly made off with over $1 million worth of her belongings. Now, don't forget that this was Kyle then. Remember when it came out how she was wearing the alleged jewelry and handbags that were supposed to have been stolen, and then all of a sudden at the reunion she's like, oh yeah, so the robbers called me from jail to tell me that they had all of my stuff in their grandmother's basement, and if I wanted to get it I could. And in my mind I was like, wait a minute, I'm super confused. Number one, if the alleged robbers are in jail and all phone calls from jail are recorded, then wouldn't you just go down to the jail and be like, hey, the person you have in jail just admitted on this recorded line that they stole millions of dollars of my jewelry and handbags, and this is the address, so the police could then go and seize the stolen property. Doesn't that make the most sense? Does it make sense that the robbers who are in jail are randomly going to call you to try to extort you for stuff that they already stole from a police phone line that is recorded? And if they're in jail, I'm pretty sure they will have that person's identity, and they could probably figure out where their grandmother lives. And also, why would they have stored the stolen goods? Wouldn't the stuff be hot? Wouldn't they want to like sell it to get money? They just so happen to like bubble wrap and package Kyle's jewelry and handbags just in case one day they happen to get arrested, so that they could then call Kyle and say, hey, pay me money and I'll give you the stuff. It's at my grandma's house. Yeah. And it just so happens her daughter then gets, broken into in broad daylight. Sure. Sure. Ugh, it's just a hot mess. But let's watch the video from TMZ and then we can discuss more.
Hey Kyle. Are you okay? Is everyone safe? We heard there was a burglary. Is your daughter safe?
Yes, she's fine.
She's safe? Is everyone okay?
Yes, thank you.
Did they get the guy that did it?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Good to see you.
Thanks.
I don't know. I don't know. I will say this, regardless if this is a fake robbery or a real robbery, I am happy that everybody is safe, because, God forbid this is real and, thank God she wasn't home and everybody is safe. But giving the history of questionable break ins and robberies and insurance scams, I don't know. I'm not just so quick to believe all this all of the time, but I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Do you think this robbery is real, or do you think it's a little fishy, the same way Kyle and Dorit's and maybe some other Bravo stars robberies have been a little fishy? So put it down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to our next story, which is all about Jax Taylor and Lisa's Vanderpump latest feud. So, first off, Jax is kind of walking back his claim that Vanderpump Rules is scripted. So, just to remind you guys, I do have the video of Jax being pretty drunk at his, new sports bar saying that Vanderpump Rules is scripted. We'll watch that video again in a second, but he's kind of, walking it back. So this is according to Deadline. It says Jax Taylor, star of The Valley, got hit with the reality and now got hit with reality and is now walking back claims that the former show he starred in, Vanderpump Rules, is scripted. Onlookers recorded the reality TV personality at his bar in The Valley, saying the Bravo reality series was not as authentic as many believed. Taylor now apologizes for his remarks and explains why he went off against the show that made him a star. So, as you guys know, I have a big mouth and it gets me in trouble from time to time. Taylor said on the latest episode of When Reality Hits podcast, which he co hosts with his estranged wife, Brittany Cartwright. Brittany noted that she was not present at Jack's bar where he hosted a viewing party for the show, adding, "Do not group me in with what he says." As we know, Jax and Brittany are separated right now. They're going through a very contentious, nasty split. So we'll see what happens there. And she's basically like, keep my name out your mouth. I wasn't there. I want to keep my job. Keep me out of it, right? I did a little something at my bar last week, which I regretfully went on a rant about how Vanderpump Rules is scripted, he continued. I'm incredibly embarrassed by that. Taylor explained that before he got into his bar for a viewing party, something was brought to my attention that really upset me. Although the reality star didn't give details about what upset him, and he said he was embarrassed by my actions. I feel bad for putting the show that has probably been the most authentic television out there, he added. Certain people on the show may rub me the wrong way from time to time, but I should never have trashed the show like that. Vanderpump has been and continues to be incredible TV, and I will always stand by that. As many of you know and seen, I can overreact impulsively, and I just want to apologize for all that. I'm sorry, guys. That was very wrong of me. Brittany reminded Jax, that he should have never put the show down like that, as Vanderpump Rules gave both of us our start on everything. Honestly, couldn't have been more wrong, Jack said. It's the most authentic show out there. There's nothing scripted about it. You can't script that stuff. Okay, number one, Jax is really just trying to save his job. Like, don't forget the fact that Vanderpump Rules is executive produced by Lisa Vanderpump, who also executive produces The Valley, which is what he is currently starring on. So to go out there and say, oh, it's scripted, it's horrible, it's all fake, he's trashing the show that got him on air, and then he's also calling into question his own show. Is your own show fake? Is it scripted? And he's already has an ongoing beef with Lisa Vanderpump. So I personally think that yes, Vanderpump Rules is scripted. Yes, the Valley is scripted. I think it's based in reality, but it's obvious that the producers are producing storylines. It's obvious that the cast get together and they decide what storylines and what personas they want to have on the show. To me, all of that is very, very obvious. So is it scripted in the sense of they have a script that they're reading from? No. But is it scripted reality? Yes. And I agree with Jax. As the years has gone on, it has gotten faker and faker and faker, more and more produced, but so has basically every other reality show. Look at The Housewives, highly produced, highly scripted, highly fake. It's rooted in reality, but it's very, very produced. Now, let's watch what Jax said, and then we'll look at Lisa Vanderpump's response.
Disastrous. We don't even hang out with each other. Show me a scripted show. Scripted. I've been on the show for 9 years. This is scripted. I'll be on next week, and I'll tell you what, it was scripted.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
This is disastrous. Don't get me wrong, when we started, it was awesome. Last seasons 1 through 6, organic, it was real. Now everybody starts to have money, and now it becomes fake. Anything after 6 seasons is a wash. It's a f***ing wash. Nobody shows up to Chanel earrings on to the beach. Wait. We sit here and have a conversation.
No, I don't think.
In the beginning, this is our job, and this is what we love to do. This is when it goes too far. Now you have a real show. That's where it all started. It's organic. It's real. These are all brand new people. No cat money. We're all strong. Here we go.
Yeah, so I pretty much think Jax was telling the truth about how it's scripted, especially the later years, but he also does not want to get canceled and he doesn't want to get fired again. So, of course, he's going to backtrack. Now, let's see how Lisa Vanderpump clapped back. So, this is according to page 6. It says Lisa Vanderpump shut down Jax's claim that only the early seasons of Vanderpump Rules were organic and real, while the recent installments are fake and scripted. I think it's absolutely ridiculous to say scripted. Nobody can write a script like Vanderpump Rules. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum told Entertainment Tonight in an interview published on Thursday. Lisa quipped that perhaps what Jax said and did during his 8 seasons on the Bravo reality show was scripted, but that does not apply to the rest of the cast. I don't even think Jax was scripted when he was on Vanderpump Rules. I think he really means like now. Maybe he sits at home in his little bedroom and writes his own scripts. Well, what do I know, she said. Anyway, for the most part, anything Jax says doesn't make any sense to me. Jax made headlines earlier this month when Page 6 obtained a video of him slamming the series that put him on the map. Show me a scripted show and I'll show you effing Vanderpump Rules. Scripted, scripted, scripted. I've been on this show for 9 effing years. This is scripted, he said while holding a microphone at his new bar, Jax's in Studio City. Now, it should also be noted, ironically, that in the last episode of The Valley, Jax and Brittany are trashing Lisa Vanderpump. Oh, she was so nice to us, acted like she was like a mother figure or a mentor while we're on the show. And then once we got fired, she dropped us. She never checked in on us. You know, we had the baby, didn't hear from her, blah, 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 blah. However, they negate and forget to add the fact that Jax, prior to that, went on a rant and a smear campaign against Lisa Vanderpump while he was still on the show. Remember, he was wasted and was like, this is my show and I made this show. And she was like, your show? I'm pretty sure it's called Vanderpump Rules. And then he was going on tirades. Him, Tom Sandoval, and Tom Schwartz, all 3 of them have been very disrespectful and ungrateful towards Lisa Vanderpump. Now, when I say ungrateful, I don't mean you need to kiss anybody's butt or anything like that. But there does need to be a level of respect and reverence for someone who literally gave you your livelihood and a platform that you now, if you play your cards right, could pretty much do whatever you want. You know, like they need to show her some respect. And not of that, like she's also like their elder, their boss. She's an executive. She gave them this platform, and all of them are like, "Oh, Lisa thinks she's this, and she thinks she's that." And Lisa, and then Jax was like, "Lisa doesn't need to even be on the show anymore. Why is she here? Just to act like she's doing something." Mind you, he went on these anti-Lisa rants prior to being fired, and then even after he was fired. So you need to preface all of your Lisa Vanderpump slander that you and Brit were doing on the last episode of The Valley with, "Oh yeah, and by the way, the reason why she doesn't mess with me anymore is because I literally went on a tirade against her publicly and in the press." That's why you see now on Vanderpump Rules, when they sort of have, Jax coming back for a couple of episodes, he has to apologize to her. And she's like, "All right, we got it out there. It's good that you apologize of everything he said." So to me, it was again, Jax and Brittany acting like they don't know why Lisa stopped messing with them. If I'm Lisa Vanderpump and I'm executive producing a show called Vanderpump Rules, and I've given all of these model actors a job in the industry that has literally prepared them for the rest of their lives. Like, Jax, you're only on the Valley because you were on Vanderpump Rules. Jax, you only have, all of your campaigns and products and, your new sports bar because you were on Vanderpump Rules. That's the foundation for everything that you've done. You too over there, Brit. So have a little bit of respect for the person who gave you that opportunity. Again, you don't have to bow down to anybody. You don't have to worship anybody or kiss anybody's butt, but there should be a level of respect and reverence for that. And they totally thought that they were bigger than the show, bigger than Lisa, and they quickly found out that they were not. So I'm happy that she's clapping back at him because it's ridiculous, Jax went on to claim that the current Pump Rules cast members do not even hang out with each other and when they're not filming, calling the show disastrous and fake. Well, I will give him that. I do think the last 3 seasons, no, 4, 9, no, 3, season 9, 10, and 11 have been horrible. I will give them that. The only thing that saved this show was Scandival, and I think it only saved it for a season. Notably, Jax dubbed his new Vanderpump Rules spinoff, The Valley, quote, "a real show." Now, this is where I diverge with Jax because I think The Valley is very, very produced. And by that, I mean Jax and Brittany are doing the absolute most, trying to create drama, trying to create stuff. Kristen Doty is her own worst enemy. I was kind of on Kristen's side until the end of the last episode of The Valley. She never should have inserted herself in the Jesse and Michelle drama at the dinner. She should have just piped down. But again, maybe she's just trying to make a show, trying to stay relevant, trying to just keep it going. Who knows? The bartender later backtracked as his comments and admitted he was embarrassed by Jax's public outburst going viral. Yikes. So I want to know what you guys think about this, new feud between Jax Taylor and Lisa Vanderpump. I obviously land on Lisa Vanderpump's side. I think she's given all of these, mactors, model/actors, such a big break in their lives, and they should kind of give her more reverence and a little bit more respect. I feel like talking bad about Lisa is kind of gross. Exactly, Barbara, Stassi, and Kristen. They've all badmouthed Lisa, and it's just like, excuse me, where would you be without Lisa if it wasn't for this show? Have a little respect. So I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Do you think the shows are fake? Are they too heavily produced, like a lot of reality TV? Or do you think Jax was just jealous because he is not back on the show? So put it down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to our next story. So since, everyone's talking about the upcoming season 14 of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, who's fired, who's coming back, everyone's on the chopping block, I thought it might be a little nostalgic to kind of revisit the Kyle Richards and Lisa Vanderpump feud timeline, as it's rumored Lisa Vanderpump might be coming back to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If she does, I would love it. I think it would be amazing and ecstatic. And also, maybe that's why Dorit hasn't gotten a contract yet. I haven't heard any updates on that. Last we heard, Dorit was the only one that of the remaining cast, other than obviously Crystal and Anna Marie, without a contract. And I think that if they obviously they fired Lisa Rinna, so check. And then if they fire Dorit, check. I think Lisa Vanderpump might come back. I know she still beats with Kyle, but I think she might come back to take Kyle down. And without Lisa Rinna and without Dorit, Kyle's position is very, very weakened. So let's do a little bit of a deep dive into that. So this is according to Screen Rant. Da, da, da. When The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills began its first season in 2010, Kyle Richards and Lisa Vanderpump developed a friendship no one thought would ever crumble. But they began feuding over the years. No matter what Lisa had done to Kyle in the past, she managed to move past it in hopes of salvaging a friendship. However, the band-aid Kyle slapped on the cracked friendship started to fall amid the infamous Puppygate storyline during Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 9. Since then, the two have become real enemies. Both Kyle Richards and Lisa Vanderpump joined Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in its very first season. They were close friends before appearing on the show, and their friendship became stronger as the series progressed. Kyle always had Lisa's back, even when she felt she was wrong, but Lisa never seemingly reciprocated her loyalty back to Kyle. The friendship was always seemed one-sided, ultimately becoming the demise of their close bond. I personally disagree with that assessment. I think that Lisa has always been very loyal to Kyle, and Kyle kind of threw that in the trash when Puppygate happened. Okay. So the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 2 fight explained. During the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 2 reunion in 2011, Kyle Richards and Lisa Vanderpump's friendship faced its first major falling out. The mother of four called the restaurateur calculated and compared being in a friendship with her to playing chess with Bobby Fischer. Lisa was hurt by Kyle's comparison, leading Lisa to distance herself from Kyle in the following season. Now, this is the thing. Turns out the real Bobby Fischer is Kyle. As it all has come out, she's really been the sniper from the side, manipulating people, having the faux Fox 5, having people do her dirty work, have people be her mouthpiece, whether it's Teddy Mellencamp or whether it's, Anna Marie. She always needs someone to do her dirty work. Kyle and Lisa's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills feud was reignited. Though Kyle and Lisa tried to reconcile after the Bobby Fischer comparison on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 4, their feud was reignited. Brandy Granville claimed that Lisa planned to bring the tabloid stories containing cheating rumors about Kyle's husband, Mauricio, on the cast trip to Puerto Rico. Kyle is disappointed that Lisa would engage in conversations about those infidelity rumors on camera, even though Kyle and Mauricio denied them. Lisa also denied that she wanted to bring the tabloids on the trip. Now, who do I believe when it comes to Lisa Vanderpump or Brandy? I'm gonna go with Lisa Vanderpump. I think that Brandy has always been very thirsty, always trying to steal the spotlight, and she always does things and then blames other people. And at the end of the day, just look at what's going on now with both Brandy, Lisa, and Kyle. So Kyle's denying the cheating rumors, even though I get it, to deny the cheating rumors and not want the tabloids to come out on the show. I get that, wanting to protect your family, wanting to protect your marriage. But at the end of the day, you're on a reality TV show about your family and your marriage. So it is what it is there. Now, look at Lisa versus Brandy. Brandy is now a part of, a lawsuit of her getting wasted and allegedly being sexually inappropriate with her cast member. And instead of taking responsibility, she's blaming everybody else. Oh no, it's production. They made me do it. No, it's Andy Cohen. He made me do it. She's blaming everybody but herself. And then look at the trajectory of her own life. As she says, she admits she drinks too much. She pops too many pills, but it's everybody else's fault. Anytime Brandy gets in trouble, somebody else made her do it. Where look at Lisa Vanderpump, she's thriving. She has a new show on Hulu, Vanderpump Villa, which is doing great. She's opening up new restaurants in Lake Tahoe called Wolf. She's opening up restaurants all over the place in Vegas. She's doing the damn thing. you know? So it's kind of like, who has that pattern of doing really bad things and then blaming everybody else for those things? And then look at Kyle and Mauricio. Clearly, they are, getting divorced, allegedly, separating after 27 years, cheating rumors running rampant. So, out of those three people, the person who kind of like has come out on top, who maybe wasn't lying, seems to be more like Lisa Vanderpump. Okay. Drama with Yolanda Hadid impacted Lisa and Kyle's relationship. Their friendship took another major hit during the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 6 after Lisa Rinna and Eileen Davidson claimed that Vanderpump had tried to drag Kyle into their Yolanda controversy. Rinna suggested that Yolanda was lying about her Lyme disease diagnosis and implied she suffered from Munchausen syndrome. Even though Kyle had nothing to do with the gossip, Rinna and Eileen revealed that Vanderpump had been trying to drag Kyle into it. Kyle was annoyed that she was pulled into the drama, but she managed to get over it fairly quickly. Again, consider the source. As we know, Lisa Rinna literally created a Mean Girls group called the Faux Fox 5, whose sole mission was to take down Lisa Rinna, or to take down Lisa Vanderpump. And Lisa Rinna is a known liar. Look what she did to Kathy Hilton. Look what she did to Yolanda. Look what she did to, basically everybody on the show, how she treated Garcelle. Like her whole situation with Lisa Rinna. And again, look at the track record. Lisa Rinna ends up getting fired for all of her bad behavior and lies and darkness and all of that stuff. And look at Lisa Vanderpump. She got spin-offs and new shows and all of this other things. So at the end of the day, when you look back at all of this stuff retrospectively, you kind of see who has the pattern of lying and denying and being dark and, pitting people against each other versus people who are still thriving, focusing on themselves and in their own lane. And Eileen Davidson was kind of like a puppet for Lisa Rinna. I don't even think they're still friends, because when Lisa Rinna was going through it, Eileen Davidson was very quiet. I don't know who came to Lisa Rinna's defense when she was going through it. I don't really know anybody who did. Nobody wanted to be canceled along with her. Okay. Now, Puppygate is what ended Lisa and Kyle's friendship. The scandal that ended the seemingly unbreakable friendship between Lisa Vanderpump and Kyle Richards is the infamous Puppygate storyline. It began when Dorit Kemsley adopted a dog from Lisa's rescue, Vanderpump Dogs, and rumors emerged that she gave the dog to a kill shelter. Lisa reportedly planned to make Dorit look bad by involving Teddy Mellencamp. Tabloids began covering the situation, with Dorit believing that Lisa leaked information to the press. Kyle then confronted her, which led to a huge blowout fight with her husband, Ken, at LVP's home. He kicked her out of the home, with Lisa never to appear alongside the women again. Kyle continues to star in the current Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 13, but Lisa left the Bravo series after 9 seasons. While her relationship with Kyle wasn't the only reason, the aftermath of Puppygate and other scandals certainly didn't help. The pair will likely never be friends again, but their drama on the show before Lisa left was fascinating to watch. I think it's also worth mentioning that during Puppygate, Lisa Vanderpump was mourning. She was legitimately in grief. Her brother, unfortunately, had taken his own life. Shortly after that, her mother passed away. She's grieving the death of her brother and her mother. And these women created the Faux Fox 5, which was Lisa Rinna, Kyle Richards, Dorit Kemsley, and Erica Jane, or the Faux Fox 4, is it? Wait, Dorit Kemsley, Lisa Rinna, Erica Jane, Kyle Richards, and Teddy Mellencamp. Yes, the Faux Fox 5. They legitimately created this mean girl group with the sole purpose of taking down Lisa Vanderpump when they knew she was vulnerable because she's mourning the loss of her brother and her mother. Now, that is really disgusting. So the demise of their friendship was not about Puppygate. It was about the fact that someone who's supposed to be your best friend has joined forces with other women to take you down when you're mourning the loss of your mother and your brother. And, there's that infamous clip where Lisa is like basically in grief and shock, and she's talking about the death of her brother. And Kyle says to her, well, yeah, we all got stuff going on. Like, we all have problems. Excuse me, what, miss? Excuse me, what? And now that, unfortunately, and I wish this on no one, so I'm not going to be like, oh, karma got you, because that's really dark and evil and I'm not into that. So very unfortunately, in this particular situation, Kyle, maybe a year now, maybe a little over a year now, lost her best friend to, mental illness as well. She unfortunately ended up taking her own life. Now, it's one thing to lose your brother, it's another thing to lose a friend. So family is one thing, friendship is another, but to still have somebody close to you do that. And she hasn't shown any type of maturity or understanding of like, whoa, now that this has happened to me, I feel so ashamed, or I feel guilty, or I want to apologize for the way that I treated my friend Lisa, who was going through this. There's been none of that. There's been zero accountability. Kyle did the same thing with Sutton. Sutton's father unfortunately succumbed to mental illness and ended up taking his own life as well. She did the same thing to Sutton when Sutton was talking about her PTSD and Dorit's alleged break-in. She's like, yeah, whatever, Dorit, you weren't, nice to you, or whatever, Sutton, you weren't nice to Dorit and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, well, wait a minute. Like, this whole situation is bringing up some of my stuff. Still no apologies, still no self-awareness. So their friendship didn't end because of Puppygate. Their friendship ended because someone was fundamentally not just not there for her friend, but actively against her. It's one thing not to show up for me, but to actively be against me when I'm grieving the loss of my family, that is something that I don't believe a lot of people ever come back from. So on this one, I am team Lisa Vanderpump. I think it was, I think Kyle did a lot of dirty stuff in the dark. Now, I'm not saying Lisa Vanderpump is an angel. Obviously not. We're all human beings. She's a smart woman. She's a strategic woman. She clearly knows what she's doing. Look at all of her success, all of her spinoffs, all of her restaurants, all of her TV shows. So I'm not saying she's perfect. I'm not saying she's innocent, but I'm saying in the context of what Kyle has done to her versus what she has done to Kyle, I believe the demise of their friendship is more on Kyle than it is on Lisa. So as always, I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about this feud between Kyle and Lisa? And do you want Lisa Vanderpump back for season 14 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Are you ready to have her back on our screens? And if so, do you want her and Kyle to reconcile? Or do you want them to continue their beef and their feud on the next season? So as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and put it all down below. So with that, let's move on to our next story, which is again Kyle's latest feud against her ex-BFF, Dorit Kemsley. Now let's break down what happened between the two ladies, and I have a question for you guys. Now we know that Dorit is the only one who hasn't gotten her contract back. Do we want Dorit back for season 14 so that she and Kyle can hash it out and get the real scoop on what's going on in their feud and their friendship? Or do you think, nope, Dorit has had enough seasons to make an impact? She clearly hasn't. It's time for her to leave. So let's break down their friendship, feud, frenemy situation. So this is according to Us Weekly. But before I get into the article, I think the number one reason for the demise of their friendship is the cheating and affair rumors about Dorit and Mauricio. So I grabbed a couple of videos for us to watch. Anybody watching this on the replay, if any of the videos don't play, it's because NBC made me take them down. But if you guys are watching live, you'll get to see it, and hopefully they won't make me take them down. So here are a couple videos sort of explaining the Mauricio and Dorit cheating allegations. And I also want to make it clear, I did not start that rumor. I get some comments sometimes like, what? I'm like, I did not start the Mauricio and Dorit rumor. I just report on it. So let's watch, okay?
You want more, I'll give you more. Speaking of the Dorit rumors and Kyle spiraling, We have the latest Dorit and PK blind item and the latest Mauricio Umansky Dorit blind item. But first, I posted on my main, y'all saw Mauricio Umansky come out with his Emma Slater, his Dancing with the Stars partner, talking about that handhold. The reason why Mauricio had Emma Slater do that video is because between the former Playboy model, the former actress, and his current network reality co-star, this married real estate agent can't keep all the women in his life straight. So Mauricio is allegedly hooking up with Kendra Wilkinson, Emma Slater, and Kyle Richards all at the same time. So Emma Slater had to help him out there because they can't know about each other. Tell them about each other. Now y'all saw this. RHOBH's Dorit Kemsley and Paul Kemsley deny separation amid challenging years in marriage. We remain committed. So despite the fact that they have been living separately and in different residences, they're split. They're split. But the real reason the real reason for the split, this housewife had a long time affair, which was really the downfall of her marriage and her lover. But her lover has moved on, even though he said he would be there for her when she finally split with her husband and her lover split with his wife. So this blind item is saying Mauricio and Dorit definitely carried on a years-long affair, okay, while RHOBH was going on. Then they made a deal to leave their respective spouses. Dorit would leave PK, Mauricio would leave Kyle. Mauricio and Kyle split, right? They split. They split. She's in her fucking girl-on-girl era. He's in his Kendra Wilkinson and 18 other women era. And denying hand-holding claims because they were in their rehearsal outfits video. And then Dorit was like, great, I'm going to leave PK now. And then Dorit went and left PK. And Mauricio was like, girl, what? I'm hooking up with literally like 18 other women. You're not the only one now. And now Dorit's like, just kidding. PK and I like are trying to work it out and heal. God, rich people, they are literally nothing like us.
Oof, you guys. So shout out to Kyle Marissa Roth. She is an amazing TikToker. Unfortunately, she recently passed away. It was a huge shock. Again, I think that her passing was very, very suspicious. I have followed her. She's amazing. She's fantastic. So shout out to Kyle Marissa Roth. Rest in peace, sweetheart. And we still love you, and your amazing reporting still lives on. So that was Kyle Marissa Roth. She just passed away. So I just wanted to show her some love and my condolences and just let everybody know that she was amazing while she was here. And she would love that we're talking about all this stuff. So yeah, there were a bunch of blind items and rumors about Mauricio and Dorit, from them smashing to them having a leave our spouses pact. And for me, there's a little bit of validity to that when you think about it, because PK and Dorit's marriage basically dissolved the same exact time that Kyle and Mauricio's marriage dissolved. You know, PK and Mauricio's friendship, they sort of have like kept up appearances a little bit, but like we saw in last season, PK and Mauricio were not hanging out. Mauricio basically was like, I'm not doing the UK reality show with you anymore. I'm going to go over to Netflix and do my own thing with Buying Beverly Hills. Obviously, Kyle and Dorit are no longer friends. They're not even on speaking terms. The last time they spoke was at the reunion. We've seen them at like different bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs and little things like that. But again, those are more like family gatherings and friends. It's not like the two of them actually being like friends anymore. And I think it's like, again, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in conspiracy. The fact that these two marriages basically crumbled at the same exact time, right after the rumor comes out that Mauricio and Dorit are knocking boots. So let's watch a couple of more videos, and then we'll dive into some more of what's going on with these two ladies.
You can't tell me this timing is not impeccable. Dorit and PK are separating, and as we know, Kyle Richards and Mauricio are separated. We all know the rumors between Mauricio and Dorit. The timing right now is so perfect. Like, we're gonna need Mauricio to come through. I'm gonna need Mauricio and Dorit to at least go on a couple dates together. Just for the drama, just for the tea. I know that they would really never date in real life, but I want Mauricio to stir the pot. Because that man has been embarrassed for the last year with Kyle Richards and how Kyle Richards has been parading all around town with Morgan Wade. So I think it's Mauricio's time.
How are you? You look beautiful.
Thank you, my love.
My wife.
I don't think so. If we had to take the wives out of the who wins, who wins?
Your wife.
Clearly, Kyle's not worried about it because she sat them both together at the dinner in Aspen. So, why are we worried if she's not? Thanks for the question. What's my take on Dorit and Mauricio? Do I think they're having an affair? Well, they do act very strange together.
You made it home. I spoke to you last night. Before all this. What's up, ladies?
Hi, honey. Here. Perfect timing. Hi, honey.
How are you?
I'm okay.
I don't know. It's just so far-fetched, but she's over the top lovey. Like, it's always like, my love, honey. Like, all the things like what Yolanda was like. I feel like she's just over the top Yolanda. But there's a few more.
Again, listen, ain't nobody calling my man honey right after me. Stay in your place, ding dong Dorit. Now, I have always said this. Whether or not Dorit and Mauricio actually crossed the line into like a physical affair, I don't know. But I would say, I think that Dorit clearly, in my opinion, has a sexual attraction, crush, whatever you want to call it, to Mauricio. Whether or not Mauricio genuinely reciprocates those feelings, I don't know. He always just kind of seems like, hey guys, what's going on? Okay. He always seems kind of distracted. Maybe he pops some edibles. He's just kind of doing his own thing, like whatever. But I think her attraction to him is pretty clear and pretty evident. That would be enough for me as Kyle to cut Dorit off. You know, you're not calling my man, my husband, honey. You're not kissing him. You're not smelling him. You're not flirting with him. You're not giving him the sexy eyes. You're not doing all of that to my man. Absolutely not. You're not going to play in my face, act like you're my friend, but then clearly have the hots for my husband. Even if my husband was the most faithful man in the world, because we all know Mauricio has had his cheating allegations, you know, whatever the case may be, whether they are true or false, allegations enough are painful. It doesn't sit right. So on this particular one, I'm team Kyle, because I do think Dorit has been inappropriate with Mauricio, whether it's just an energy, an innuendo, a look, a kiss, a smell, a honey. No, thank you. I see what you're doing. Bye-bye. Stay out my man's face is pretty much how I would feel. So I think this is really the crux, the real foundation, the breaking point between these two women is the cheating allegations and rumors about Dorit and Mauricio. Now let's dive into some other issues that these two women have had. Again, this is from Us Weekly. It says, Dorit, Kemsley, and Kyle Richards have been joined at the hip throughout the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but their friendship has taken quite the turn. Season 13 followed the cracks in their relationship, with Dorit expressing concerns that Kyle was prioritizing other friends over her. The following month, things between the Bravo stars started to escalate when Kyle suggested that Dorit was exaggerating the nature of their friendship, citing a comment Dorit made about Kyle not inviting her to trips anymore. Again, I'm with Kyle on this. If I just half of me thinks you want to sleep with my husband. You're damn right I'm not inviting you to vacations. I'm not inviting you into my home. No, I'm not. So I'm with Kyle on this. This is not to be shady, but we've only gone on one trip together as a couple that I can recall. Mauricio Umansky, PK Kemsley, Dorit, and me, Kyle said during a January 2024 Amazon Live. We did do Vegas together, that's true, and then we've been in London at the same time, but that was just a flat-out exaggeration. Dorit has since taken umbrage with Kyle's interpretation of their friendship. Now, this is where I'm Team Dorit. I'll get into what she says, but this is where I'm Team Dorit. If you're going to blank me, if you're going to, deny our friendship, say we had an exaggerated friendship, if you're going to ghost me, at least be woman enough to admit why. Kyle saying that Dorit exaggerated their friendship is a lie. They were really good friends. They were doing couples vacations and dinners and hanging out. They were attached at the hip. They were very, very, very close friends. So was PK and Mauricio. To the point where they were like, oh no, the affair rumors are so ridiculous. We're just really close friends as couples. My children are like Auntie Mo, Auntie Kyle, all of that. You know what I mean? So even Kyle was saying how close they were, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. Oh, people are saying we're swingers. No, we're just really close. So Kyle, stand on business, stand 10 toes down, and just be like, either do it in a very sly way, like you don't have to be like abrasive or anything. You could do it in a slick way, but be honest about why you don't mess with Dorit anymore. You don't mess with Dorit because you felt some type of way about how she was coming for your man. Just be honest. That's the reason why you don't mess with Dorit anymore. I mean, you decided to walk away from a 27-year marriage because your husband is doing whatever X, Y, and Z out there in these streets. Nobody would blame you from walking away from a few years friendship with Dorit because she's looking at your man some type of way. But like, stand on your business. That's how I would respect you. You don't have to come out and say it, but don't act like you and Dorit weren't BFFs because you were. Come on. Okay. When you're close, it's inevitable that you have some highs and some lows, Dorit told Access Hollywood while attending the People's Choice Awards in February of 2024. This year was strange, both independently for us and also in our friendship collectively. So yeah, it was inevitable to have some things to hash out. Now let's walk through the timeline. So Dorit makes her Real Housewives of Beverly Hills debut. Dorit appeared on the show for the first time during the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 7, which premiered in 2016, getting introduced to the women through Lisa Vanderpump. Dorit's fast friendship with Kyle created a triangle of sorts with Lisa, who was no longer on the show. I'm never going to get in the middle between Kyle and Lisa's friendship, Dorit told People in February of 2018. I don't even know what they have. I know that when we're together, we have a lot of fun and I love these girls. And I know when I'm with them individually, we also have a great fun. Fans became privy to how close Dorit and Kyle became that year when Teddi Mellencamp joined the show for season 8. When Kyle defended Teddi and not Dorit during an argument, the Beverly Beach founder was confused. I don't know why one of my best friends would be sticking up for someone that she just met rather than sticking up for me, Dorit said during a 2018 episode. It really hurts me. It just feels so wrong. Well, Dorit, welcome to Kyle. She had found her mouthpiece in Teddi, so she was going to stick beside Teddi no matter what. And you did get in between her and Lisa, but that's for the puppy gate. Despite any lingering tension between them, it seemed Kyle and Dorit were back to their old ways during the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 9 in 2019, especially when Puppygate was involved. Kyle stood up for Dorit with Lisa when the famed Lucy Apple Juicy dog ended up in a kill shelter. Dorit had adopted the pup from Vanderpump Dogs, but tried to rehome the pet before it ended up in the shelter. Kyle's allegiance to Dorit ultimately ended up making Lisa leave the show. Again, I don't think it was Kyle's allegiance to Dorit. I think it was the fact that Kyle, Dorit, Lisa Rinna, Erica Jane, and Teddi Mellencamp banded together to create the faux Fox 5 to bring down Lisa Vanderpump when she was grieving the death of her brother and her mother. So that's why their friendship broke up. Dorit and Kyle stop speaking. The following year, the friends hit a bump in the road when Dorit claimed that Kyle would throw her name on the clothes to find success. Kyle had launched her Kyle X Shahida clothing line with Shahida Clayton, which aired during season 10. I didn't just put my name on the clothing line like Dorit suggested, Kyle wrote via X at the time. I worked closely with Shahida on the looks we wanted. Now, this gets into the whole jealousy and competition thing. So basically what Dorit said was that Kyle just put her name on it. She wasn't really a designer. She wasn't really, actively involved in the business. She basically just put her name on it, almost like a white label, like, oh, this is my clothing line, but you just put your name on it. Sheen by Sheree type situation is what Dorit is saying. And Kyle was basically like, no, I was a part of the process. This is my business. I was doing all of the designs. Where the jealousy and competition comes in is Dorit has always wanted to be a designer. Beverly Beach by Dorit. What happened to that? That was a flop. She was allegedly curating and designing wedding dresses one season for like half a season. What happened to that? So Dorit's always wanted to be a designer, wanting to be in fashion, but she's kind of had all of these fake businesses and false starts. I don't really know what Dorit does. People have come at Dorit for wearing fake designer clothes and buying designer stuff and then going back to the store to, return it, doing those sort of like buy and return schemes and scams, all of that. So I do think that there is a level of jealousy and competition between the two women when it comes to fashion, being a designer, having brands and clothing lines and all of that. And then I also think there's a jealousy and competition between them in general when it comes to Mauricio's attention, for one, and, other things. Who's better friends with Lisa? Who's better friends with this person? All of that stuff. There does seem to be a bit of jealousy and competition between the two. Okay. Kyle and Dorit do go on vacation with their husbands. Despite the tension during the season, Kyle and Dorit went on vacation with their husbands, Mauricio and PK, in September of 2020. Again, Kyle exaggerating their friendship is a little bit off the mark. Kyle supports Dorit in the robbery aftermath. When Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 12 premiered in 2022, the first episode revealed that Dorit had been robbed at Pew Pew Point in her home while PK was away in London. Kyle rallied the women, inviting them all to her house as a support system for Dorit. But again, this could be a sticky point because don't forget, both of women's robbery has kind of been looked into as maybe fraud, maybe insurance scams, maybe, setups that they did themselves. Because again, both of them had Teddy Mellencamp's husband, Eddie's, surveillance security system up. One said he did it, but the cameras were down. With Kyle's house, super shady. Again, we've all done the deep dives into the questionable validity of these home robberies, with Teddy and her husband being at the center of them. So, of course, Kyle is going to support Dorit during the robbery, because if she doesn't, and it turns out that Dorit's robbery is proven to be fraudulent, then it could easily be proven that Kyle's might have been fraudulent, since they were very, very similar. Both had the same Teddy Mellencamp husband security. So there also might be that mutually assured destruction. So is that really a friendship, or is that just, I'm going to keep your secret because by keeping your secret, I'm keeping my secret? You know what I mean? How Kathy Hilton is involved. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 12 reunion featured a conversation between sisters Kyle and Kathy following the drama that went down earlier that season. Kathy threatened to destroy Kyle following a night out in Colorado, allegedly. When Dorit attempted to chime in, Kyle cut her off, saying, I don't want you to interject in this right now. This is why Dorit says at this year's reunion that she knows Kyle's nature, that unless you're saying what Kyle wants you to say, unless you are being Kyle's yes person and mouthpiece, if you go against her in any way, or not just with her, she will punish you. So the fact that that Dorit had the audacity to hold Kyle accountable and just say, hey, Kathy might just want you to say, well, this was my part in it, to find common ground to get back with your sister. Kyle basically went after her and was like, I don't want you to chime in, mind your business. Behind the scenes, you're saying you support me, but at the reunion, you're siding with Kathy. And the thing with Kyle is, I think she thinks supporting her just means being a yes person to her. And that's not true friendship. That's not true support. True friendship and support is, yes, being there for your friend, but also showing them areas where they could grow, where they could take accountability, where they could become a better version of themselves. And Kyle just always playing the victim. And unless you are saying what she wants you to say, she's going to punish you and ice you out and basically do everything she accuses Kathy of doing. That's not right either. So that's why Dorit says, I know your nature and you're punishing me because I said something you didn't like. And that's also emotional abuse, by the way. So there is that. Things start to unravel as Kyle started to get closer with singer Morgan Wade. Dorit started to feel iced out, especially after hearing the Amazon Live comment. There's stuff with Kyle and I that's going on, and it hurts and bothers me the most, Dorit told Erica Jane in a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 13 reunion preview from February of 2024. I haven't heard from her in a couple of months. Then she sends me a text yesterday, basically trying to silence me. It was so manipulative. It was so calculated. The text messages was shared on screen, and Kyle wrote that it bothers her to be in a weird place with Dorit. They don't even know we are going through a hard time, so I don't see the need to bring it up there. Kyle's text continued. I should have said something sooner, but I honestly haven't been strong enough. But relationships and you are more important to me than the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. However, Dorit also told Access in February of 2024 that she and Kyle will always end up landing on our feet. I don't know about that. Let's see if you get your contract first, Dorit, before you say all that. Now, when it comes to the text message being leaked, I'm actually on Team Kyle. I didn't see it as manipulation and trying to silence Dorit. I saw it more as Kyle being like, so we're going to continue to lie, right? This season, they don't know how hard of a time we've had, they being production, the other girls, Andy, the audience. So let's just keep up the lie because I have other fish to fry at the reunion. I got to deal with Sutton. I got to deal with Crystal. I got to deal with blah, blah, blah. I want to deal with all of that. I'm just checking in to make sure we both are still lying, because Dorit could have just as easily brought to the show and made a much bigger deal about the rift between her and Kyle, but she didn't. She also showed up during the season. Yeah, there was awkward moments between them, but overall, everybody kind of just chalked that up to Kyle going through it with the Morgan stuff, with the tattoos, with the not drinking, with the Mauricio stuff. Everybody kind of chalked up it to Kyle going through it, her distance with Dorit. But clearly there's something much deeper going on, and it's a much bigger deal than any of them were acting like on the show. So Kyle basically was just like, they don't know the realness of going on between us. I'm just making sure we're both going to keep lying tomorrow. I don't see that as her manipulating Dorit or trying to silence Dorit. I just see her that as being like, you're still lying because I'm still lying, right? Cool. But because Dorit had nothing going on during the season, like, we don't want to hear about this PTSD, whatever the case is. She didn't really have anything going on. She's going to take that as gold. She's going to give it to the producers. She's going to say Kyle is manipulative, trying to silence her. And, she wants to, get it all on the line with Kyle at the reunion because she's trying to save her diamond because she didn't really do anything else the rest of the season. What else? What other storyline did Dorit have other than Garcelle reading her for filth every single time she could with Dorit's microaggressions? Other than that, Dorit's only storyline was Garcelle checking her. Other than that, what did Dorit have going on? I'll wait. So of course she's going to take that because Kyle is obviously in the hot seat. She has so much going on and she needs to save her diamond. So when it comes to that, I'm on Team Kyle, and I think Dorit was just looking for anything to make a moment to keep her diamond. Whether or not that worked is still up in the air because rumor has it she hasn't gotten a contract, so she might be fired or demoted to a friend of. So I want to know what you guys think. Given everything that has gone down between Kyle and Dorit, whose side are you on? Are you on Kyle's side? Are you on Dorit's side? Are you on neither of their side? Do you want Dorit to come back full-time, friend of, or not at all? So as always, be sure to put it down below. And before you do that, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, you guys, I'm going to drop the link in case anybody wants to come up and chat. But in the meantime, I will take some of your candy cane questions and comments. All right. So hi, Barbara. How are you, sweetheart? Hi, GM Lovely says hi, Candy and everyone. Hi, Reality Connoisseur says hey, Candy. Mods in chat. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Chance to Win says insurance scams. Yup. Hey, Dream Pro Studio says you just took the words right out of my mouth. Literally. Hey, Barbara. She's laughing. Hey, sweetheart. Hi, Annalisa. She goes, all those robberies are fake. Dream Pro Studio says allegedly. Little Diddy's husband installed Kyle's security system. Exactly. Yes, performative PTSD. Thank you. Stop doing the most. Allegedly. Annalisa says, isn't Farah's house part of Kyle's house? Like a cottage in the back? Oop. I don't know. I didn't know that. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised, but who knows? Barbara says they just happen to have Kyle's phone number. Exactly. How did the robbers get Kyle's phone number? Very good point. Barbara says Kyle acted suspicious with the reporter, 100%. Tay says Team LVP all the way, me too. And thank you, Tay, for being a channel member. I really appreciate you. Dream Pro says, I'll turn around then address Team Z asking you about your daughter's safety. Dang. Yep. Dream Pro says, thank you, Barbara. Oh, she didn't have 2 minutes to turn around and be like, yeah, she's safe. She's fine. Thank you so much for your concern. Exactly. Very fishy. Barbara says, if it were my daughter and the press asked me, I would be so happy and relieved that she wasn't hurt. I would have said that. Kyle acted very suspicious if you ask me. I agree. Dream Pro says, very suspicious. Ducking and running, 100%. Barbara says, looks like Jax is growing up. Dream Pro says Jax is stupid. He shoots himself in the foot with statements like that, even if they are true. Yep. Dream Pro says, thank you. Barbara says he was trashing the show while sitting on the couch in his bar with a microphone. Dream Pro says, drunk, I'm sure, allegedly. Barbara says, and Jack did say the first 6 seasons were real. Jax is just pointing out how they're not friends on that show anymore. It's not authentic. I agree with him, but I don't think he should have said it because he needs his job. I agree with you, Barbara, 100%. Dream says, yes, I remember that. I mean, he needs his job. The drunken truth. Tay says he said it on the after show. Barbara says LVP always has a great clapback. She really does. She keeps it classy. Dream says Jax has heavily produced himself because production has always made him chief pot stirrer. Yep. Hey, Equal Love is dropping some candy canes. Thank you. VLS Aries says they got too comfortable. Yep. Barbara says, of course it was the Jack show. After all, he's the #1 guy of the show and is laughing. Dream says, LOL. Barbara says, LVP doesn't mess with Brittany anymore because Brittany is a big racist. That part. Racist and didn't it come out with like the homophobia and stuff like that? DGF says, hi, sweetheart. Barbara says, Stassi also used to talk about LVP. So true. Hey, Equal Love says, Lisa, come back. Barbara says, Dorit is the only one without a contract. I don't think she's coming back. I know it's not looking good. Tay says LVP needs to come back. Vile Kyle sure is a good politician. LVP is the last woman laughing. That part. She's laughing with that Hulu check. She's laughing with that Bravo check. She's laughing with all her restaurants. She's doing the absolute most and the absolute best. Barbara says where it really began when she lost her mother and brother within the same year and none of them gave a crap. Exactly. If Lisa wasn't going through all that, she would have whipped the floors with them. They got her at the weakest moment. That's why I never liked and can't stand Lisa Lips. Agreed. Dream says, I strongly disagree. Brenna has no reason to lie on Kathy. Oh boy. Tay says, not only that they wanted to kill the show. Hey, Adam, what's up, sweetheart? You want to sound off?
Hi, Candy. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just saw this mega title of this live, and I was like, okay, this is intriguing. It's a lot. I mean, I don't know. For some reason, it faded away after a minute in the chat, but I saw that on your poll that Dorit had like 7% support, so 7% of Candy's viewers. Props to you, but Dorit needs to go. But I mean, you know, there's there's parts of her that could have been redeemed, but there's nothing that she has done to redeem herself. She's just she's kind of like a sometimes in the episodes just kind of gives off like chameleon vibes, like only comes in when it's convenient, when Kyle or Erica wants her to be there. Or I mean, the idea of Lisa Vanderpump coming back obviously would be fantastic, but I don't think it will happen as she's got all these other endeavors. I mean, she's got food stars with my favorite chef, Gordon Ramsay. And you know, she's got a lot to do. I mean, she said that filming Vanderpump Villa, Vanderpump Rules, and Food Stars as it was a lot. And but she said, you know, she just could not turn down Food Stars because
how could you?
because you know, obviously, you know, being a restaurateur, it also made sense because they've got quite a few restaurants that are like neighbors. You know, they were just saying that the restaurant that they both have in Vegas is literally just a minute walk from one another in that whole what's it called, Caesar's, isn't it? Caesar's Palace or something.
Yeah.
But I don't. Would you have rather Dorit have been fired than Crystal? Or do you think Dorit offers? Do you think Crystal couldn't offer any more, and Dorit is a better asset to the show?
I think that if they truly held Dorit and Kyle's feet to the fire and had them really hash out the truth of what's going on in their friendship, frenemy feud, I think that Dorit would be the bigger asset, because I think that's the bigger story, would be what's really happening with Dorit and Mauricio. You know, what's the truth about Kyle, you know, basically being like, I don't really know Dorit like that. I think if they really broke down what's going on in their friendship and held their feet to the fire to really, you know, tell the truth, that would be way more interesting, because Crystal is a vibe, but she's a vibe sporadically. And I think that I would rather see what the truth is with Dorit and Kyle than watch Crystal kind of just kiki with, you know, Garcelle and Sutton. Because Garcelle and Sutton are a vibe on their own. And honestly, with Erica, they're a vibe too. So Crystal adds to it, but I don't think that Crystal would be more of an asset to Dorit if they really held their feet to the fire.
I agree, because even though I wasn't a massive fan of Garcelle this season compared to the previous season, she kind of summed up. She was interviewed by the ET guy, Bryce, and she said she summed it up perfectly. Was that she kind of only found her voice in this current season, but and I think, you know, aside from having the most expensive home on the show, it was maybe a little bit too late for. And also for other, the other thing that you brought up that I found interesting was how, you know, how Dorit and Erica always like prop their businesses on the show, and when you advertise on the Bravo network, they get a cut and whatever.
Yep.
Crystal, even though I don't believe a word she says when it comes to this, has this coconut company. I do not believe it is the second largest in the planet.
Yeah, that might be an exaggeration.
Yeah, I do not believe that. She never showcased her brand because she didn't want anything to be given away. And
exactly, she wanted to keep that 10%.
And because she's not the EP of the show, you know, when Lisa Vanderpump, you know, promotes her businesses, you know, maybe you know, there's more of a mutual, more of a business standpoint agreement, you know, of maybe they don't get as high as a percentage if she's the EP of the show. But Crystal didn't want to give she didn't even want to give 0.1%. She was like, you're not having anything.
Yeah.
Which is fair play.
And also, I don't think it would be Crystal's sole decision. She also has an investor and her brother.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, unless she owns 51% stake, which kind of
doubtful, since there's 3 of,
you know, she won't have authorization.
Exactly.
But I think the idea of her coming back would be cool, but I feel that there would have to be someone else from her time on the show to come back, aka like a Camille. And you know how we were debating the other day, how we were saying, do we want Camille?
I think
to come
it would
back?
be interesting if she brought on a new friend, like somebody totally new. I think that would be really cool.
I think so too, but
like I'm ready for new. Like I'm tired of even though I love Camille, this isn't personally against her. I think she's really sweet and really funny and great. Like I think it's time for newness. Like look how amazing Vanderpump Villa is because it's all new. And I think that I think Bravo is going more in that direction. I think right now internally they're doing a big overhaul. That's why we're not getting really new shows. Everything is kind of put on pause. Even like the guest on Watch What Happens Live, like that's kind of really lackluster.
That's recycled.
That's recycled, very lackluster. I think that Bravo internally is probably doing a lot of overhauls, especially with all of the lawsuits with going against NBC and Bravo and all of that coming out. So I think that they're probably looking at, because it's also a programming issue.
What's the latest with the Andy Cohen lawsuit?
I don't know. I haven't heard any
updates. That whole thing is messy.
Yeah.
Beyond belief.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Freshness is a necessity.
Yeah, it's time. I think it's time.
I think just for me, Camille's just kind of an exception. But I kind of think, get rid of, people who don't play. I mean, I guess Miami's kind of the perfect scenario. When like that to happen to Beverly Hills will be pretty cool. But the problem that I think with Beverly Hills that annoys me is that now that Crystal is off the show, aside from Sutton, none of them actually live in that Beverly Hills Bel Air area, and it might as well be we're the parents of the Valley. Something. Because the reason why I think that kind of to me matters is because if you remember season 1, you saw these massive palatial homes, and even when someone like a Yolanda came on, it next thing after Bel Air and Beverly Hills was Malibu, and her house in Malibu with that priceless view was that was wealth was unlike all these shows have wealth to a certain degree, but with Beverly Hills that was one of its main staples. And kind of Kyle, I know her house used to be owned by a famous singer or something, Smokey, I forget his name,
Smokey Robinson.
Yes, so that's it. But to me, I kind of a lot of the time. But the interesting thing is, if Lisa came on the show, then Kyle will be saving a lot of money because right now, like, she literally pays rent to have Lisa in her brain the whole time. The fact that she mentioned Lisa Vanderpump out of desperation at the reunion. She did that whole scene of Crystal apparently telling Kyle that Crystal bumped into Lisa, and Lisa was like, "Is Kyle still on the show?" And Kyle has these like she's paying Lisa rent behind the scenes because she lives. It's either that or she just lives in Kyle's brain rent free because Also, I want to talk about Vanderpump Rules.
Okay.
I can't with what I just watched the episode today.
Okay.
And I also watched the after show.
Okay.
Jax is just doing the most. He is
the
doing
most.
the most, trying to say that Lisa, the person that even made him a D-list celebrity.
Not D-list, I love it.
Yeah. D-list celebrity, public figure, whatever you want to call it.
Love it.
If I will be thanking the person that upgraded me from F to D, at least, you know.
Exactly.
Not trying to say, I mean, you got fired for a reason. Your actions.
Yeah, your actions have consequences.
And some people pretend they're on cloud 9 and that doesn't exist for them and doesn't apply to them. And Brittany did the most on the Vanderpump Rules after show.
The thing is, Jax and Brittany are one and the same. She pretends like she's so innocent, but she's the same.
No, she's not innocent. But what she said was beyond. Did you hear what she said?
About Lisa not reaching out when she was pregnant and everything,
and something else about Lisa's daughter.
Just go on and say it.
Okay, so she so in addition to the pregnancy thing, she said, I was also upset and found it weird that Pandora, Lisa Vanderpump's daughter, didn't invite their son to a party. Trying to act like they're close buddies with Lisa Vanderpump's daughter.
Oh yeah. And
like she was trying to say that you know, I was quite taken back by that, and you know, and she tried to pretty much put reference the implication that her and Jax are tight with Lisa through Pandora, and I don't know, the whole situation to me is kind of, some people just, as we said earlier, literally don't think the rules apply to them. And that's why I'm still shocked that the three of them, including Trashy Kristen, are on this brand new show. You know, if they weren't there, you were telling me the other week, if they weren't there, you still think it would have been a good show.
Exactly.
And I just don't really kind of know why they were given this ninth life. I mean, you know, the kind of, you know, I guess after this they've used all their 9 lives, but I'm pretty sure they already had their 9 lives. This is like their 10th. Like, to me, I don't understand why they actually were given, you know, I agree with what we were saying the other day, which was that it's a vibe if Lala and Sheena move to the Valley, because
it would make way more sense.
It would make more sense. I mean, I think Sheena's a bit too optimistic with her paycheck, saying she wants to do both shows at the same time. But
look, Sheena's out for a coin.
I mean, you can't blame her though.
She's out for the coin.
But I don't really. I know you. So it was either you or Natasha said that Kristen was like one of the MVPs of the Valley or something. I haven't fully invested into it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked Kristen up until the last half of this episode, because I think that she shouldn't have like inserted herself in the drama. Hey, Boo Boo. Hey, Natasha.
Hi, I'm late. Sorry.
No, you're okay.
I got home from work and I just was like, didn't know my own name and needed to eat. Otherwise, I was gonna.
How dare you have a life?
I was going to literally be.
How dare you?
Angry.
How dare you have a life?
And hateful.
Good. Right on time. We missed you.
Yeah, like I agree with the whole Vanderpump Rules. Did you see how like I'm sorry, James is just doing so great. Like, could he get any better? I don't know if he can get any better. He like stuck up for Katie.
Priceless, the producer.
What?
Him laughing.
What's his like? Jax is like getting all aggressive with Katie, and someone pointed out so great. They were like, the difference between James and Schwartz. That was such a prime example. Schwartz knew perfectly well how much Jax like disliked Katie and was going to go off, and he played dumb and sent her into the lion's den with Jax, playing dumb, and then hid in the back. Meanwhile, James didn't even know what was going on and came out of his like back room onto the patio to stand in between them and stick up for Katie. Like, bravo, James. Can we get an applause? I mean,
agree.
Literally.
Schwartz is so gross for that. Like it was such a perfect depiction. Like he was off this in the back, biting his nails probably or whatever he does, touching his face or being weird and playing dumb. And while James was like, whoa, and like just I mean the subtlety, like people don't realize like just like the subtlety of like him just even though he wasn't even like super like defending Katie, but the subtlety of him wanting to just stand there made like I feel like that's the thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when a guy's yelling at me. The fact that guy thought to just like he knew that Katie can hold her own with her words, but because he's a man, he still felt the need to stand there.
Exactly.
And like I love that.
Me too. I agree.
I was like, yeah. But Allie still needs to go. James, you can do better.
Ugh, Allie, she has some voodoo spell on him.
I really feel that way, and like her eyes were scaring me on Watch What Happens Live.
She's weird.
She gives me really creepy vibes now. Like at first we were all like, haha, yeah, she's a robot. But now I'm getting like really scary, like darkness. Like
I mean, she has to be doing all like the tarot readings and like, no, miss me with all that. And I don't mean to disrespect anybody who's into it. I'm just saying my own belief. There's a lot of deception in that.
Is that a thing that people do like in American high schools or something?
Like tarot and birth charts, you mean like astrology?
Yeah, because like in England, like some people do it, but like generally speaking, like we just
the new age wave has like hit hard. I mean, like I kind of was like curious about like when I was in high school, but like I wasn't like that into it. Like I didn't know a lot about it. I just knew like what I was, and I would like be interested and read my like cosmopolitan horoscope or whatever. But like the new age wave has hit hard in America for sure. It's like all over everything. And that kind of falls under that. But yeah, it's just weird. And her voice creeps me out too.
I mean, it literally is a walk-in ChatGPT.
She sounds like Suri's like evil niece or something.
Evil niece.
It reminds me of what's that movie? What was that movie on? Was it on Peacock? Megan. That movie Megan with the robot doll.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is that? What is Megan?
Oh my God, Barbara's right. She has the same eyes as a Stepford wife, like literally programmed and scary.
Hey, Miss Dugan to you. She says, "Hey, Candy Canes. Hey, sweetheart."
Yeah,
it's a mess.
Like I don't know. Like that was the first time. Like even like me picturing her eyes right now, I need to like rebuke that image out of my head because like I actually got creeped out, and I'm not even trying to be dramatic, even though I am dramatic.
No, it is creepy.
But and Janet was annoying. Like Janet's fake. She's I think she's a little manipulator.
Well, do we want to just go ahead and do the Valley since we're talking about it?
I mean,
let me grab a screenshot real quick.
But before we do that,
not him putting a halt to it. What boss?
He's like, what boss, man?
Natasha, I have a question about your comment. Your comment about Lisa not cooling when Jax and Brittany had a kid.
Oh, I mean, not gonna lie, even to be fake, I'm actually shocked. I was genuinely shocked. I mean, I'm just telling the truth. Like, I genuinely was shocked that she didn't do that. Like, just like as a stupid fake formality. I'm surprised when they had a kid. Apparently, she didn't reach out and send something until they spoke about it online. Which was like after the kid was like already born like a year. But like, I'm surprised once she found out that they had a kid. Not like sent a card or like just something stupid, just like formalities, fake it. Like even if it wasn't sincere, I was just genuinely shocked. That's all.
Because on the after show when I listened to it, James was hilarious. But what Jax and Brittany said was that it was 2 months too late. She sent a gift or something. 2 months too late, and I was like.
They said she didn't do it until after they had already spoken out about how they were shocked that she didn't do it. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, there was a gift in the mail.
I mean, I don't know.
See, I'm with Lisa Vanderpump on that. I'm not sending you Jack diddly squat because of how much crap Jax talked about her. Like, the thing is, he's spoke so negatively about her for literally no reason. Because to be honest with you, Lisa Vanderpump has always favored the men. Always. Like, I understood a little bit more when the woman would, because it's like, wait a minute, like, you're not giving us any slack. You're favoring the men all of the time. Like, I
But
don't
he
know.
got
I
he
would
got the
feel
good
that
end of the deal
way.
because she was like favoring him.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
he still did
So
that. Yeah, that's
what I'm
true.
saying. It's even bigger slap
I
in the
hear
face.
you.
And like,
I
for me,
mean,
like, I'm not doing any
at
pleasantries
least
when
I
you're
mean,
out
at least she
there
wasn't fake. I
trashing
mean,
me.
I'll give her that. I was just
That's what I'm
surprised.
saying.
I'm not saying like supporting either way. I'm just saying I'm surprised she wasn't fake because she seems like
Yeah.
she'd be like down for those kind of formalities, even if she doesn't care, you know? But like, bravo to her if she was like not being fake and was like, sorry.
Mm.
And Natasha, do you think Lisa Vanderpump will go back to Beverly Hills?
I don't know.
like,
I don't think so. I think she's got a lot going on.
are you gonna watch the Food Stars program?
Oh, I didn't hear about that. Sorry, I remember I was late.
It was Gordon Ramsay and Lisa Vanderpump now have a show.
Stop! Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be genius. Gordon Ramsay, I mean, he is comical, and he puts people in check without any hesitation. And Lisa, I mean, everyone knows how
Gordon
she is.
Ramsay is the blonde guy, right?
Yes,
With the spiky hair. Right?
The blonde guy.
He's English, right?
Yes.
I get them all mixed up. I'm sorry. I'm not like I don't watch those chef shows.
He's the one that swears a lot, and
okay, yes, I recognize him. Thanks. Okay, I know.
I recognize him.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sound like that.
That's funny. No worries, it's funny.
I'm laughing. After I said that, I was like, "Whoa, whoops."
well, we all know, Natasha, you're a secret shade assassin, so it's all right.
Oh my gosh, I did not mean to. Some things just come out, and I'm like, "Whoops." But sorry.
But literally, though, that producer on the after show that just spelled it out to Brock that his heels on his life crisis.
That was I was so grateful for that. I was like, thank you that we're not like we need it's like if something is like an elephant in the room, I'm like, I'm good for me to even believe this show, I'm gonna need someone to acknowledge this. Like this I don't care who says it, but someone needs to say this. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, they really do. I mean,
him talking like, oh, if I had anything, I'd be at the ranch. I'm like, boo boo, you with that lace top and heels at the ranch? I'd think not. That might have been your so-called origin story, but that ain't your story now. Like,
and on the after show, they were pretty much discussing how what's his name, Brock, he finds it very weird that he's not the breadwinner, but he said I've had to accept it. And
I feel like that was like doing like damage control.
And obviously, what's her name? Sheena, she admitted. Lala said it best. She said like every guy Sheena dates, she's pretty much the breadwinner.
She likes that. I'm convinced she likes that. I think she likes being control. I don't know how heavily I want to like break it down. I don't even know if I
mean,
where'd she go? Natasha, come back.
And like,
yeah,
she doesn't want to put full trust in a man because she doesn't feel secure enough. So she likes being the breadwinner, so that way, you know, maybe they might stick around longer and she has control of the finances and stuff like that.
She has control of the finances because she admitted on I saw a clip on Instagram where she said on Jeff Lewis that Brock's name isn't on her house. so Brock
that's been a thing. That's why there was a rumor going around that they were separating because of that, like when that happened. When it was released and she was like, no, it's just because I just didn't feel like, I was like, okay, girl.
Well, it is a bit low-key weird because she was already married to him before they got the house, but I understand it because of his track
Yeah,
record.
it's one thing if you had that before.
But his track record isn't. I mean,
I know, but imagine if someone's like your track, like your wife or husband was like, your track record isn't great, so public opinion and me kind of believe. I feel like that wouldn't be great for a marriage. I don't know.
I mean, could I don't know. His whole app.
I mean, it's
thing,
valid to me, but like, I mean, just from that perspective,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but his whole app thing. I mean, I don't know, but what's her name? Lala Kent's house though is on a whole another level. I mean, 3.1 million. I mean,
she has a 3. Yeah, that's a lot. That's bigger than Ariana's house. So that's why I'm curious where this moolah's coming from, because we all know Ariana was rolling in the bucks with all her gigs.
She's been the most frugal though out of all of them, because TMZ reported that her house is only worth 1.6 million. I say
right,
only,
that's what I mean.
But
it's like almost a third of what Lala bought, which is
half.
like
It's pretty much half.
Half. Sorry.
Yeah.
But so I'm like, I still want to know kind of what. Like, I know you can get mortgages and stuff, but like, I don't know. I just kind of want to know.
I mean, in England,
I mean, she does do Amazon Lives like it's her job. Like, literally, I mean, it is her job, but like,
I think and doesn't Lala come from money? She said her parents had a lot of money.
Oh yeah. That's right. I always forget that.
Money,
and like her family lives with her, so I bet you they're chipping in.
Yeah, she doesn't have to pay. Yeah, that's true.
Well, she pays. The brother pretty much makes money because of her, so maybe the mum chips in, because unfortunately her father passed away.
Well, she said like her brother lives down the street. I'm like, in a single family home too, and what's he doing, or is that family money too?
Because he works on her podcast. That's his main job.
Yeah, and that doesn't. I don't think that wage would produce like millions and millions of dollars worth of real estate.
Yeah,
that's like,
well, exactly, because
that's what I mean. It's probably family money.
But I'm pretty sure it's the same way.
Yeah, and like life insurance with the dad too.
Yep, life insurance, and then like all the money that went from the dad. Yeah, like they inherited it all.
I mean, it's still plausible. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same way same thing your way, but in England you can borrow 5.5 times your salary as a mortgage. So like,
yeah, but I mean, like, who borrows when you don't, because the kind of career that Lala has, like, it's pretty, like, I mean, it's kind of unstable a little bit. So like, currently from what we can see, if you don't incorporate her family money, it wouldn't make sense that she has, I don't know. But I mean, I don't really feel great counting people's coins, but like, I don't know. It just was it was a little bit of shock, because I was like, oh, that's something pretty substantial.
What? With the Valley, do you, aside from the trashy 3, are generally the others, like, do they?
Who's the trashy 3?
Jax, Brittany, Kristen.
Oh.
Aside from the trashy 3, I assume the rest of them like have like very professional jobs of some sort. Because didn't you mention the Michelle woman is like an estate agent or something?
Well, her and Jesse both I think they do real estate together. They have like a joint business venture that involves real estate. I don't know. I don't really know the details, but yeah, they're in business together, and it's something to do with real estate.
Nice.
And then Danny and Nina. Danny does voiceover. He's an ex-Nickelodeon actor or Disney actor. And it's kind of like interchangeable for me, so I can't figure out which one. And she's literally, I think, believe she might be Miss USA at one point. So she has like all those gigs just from that affiliation with the pageantry and being like Miss USA actually. So like she does a lot of gigs with that. Was she Miss USA like last? No, I don't know when she would have been, but yeah, she still does stuff with that. So she still has like careers attached to that. And so like they do that kind of stuff and now they're on the show. And then Kristen's, I don't know what Kristen's been doing other than I feel like she's scrappy. Like she hustles.
She does.
She always seemed like she was good with her money too, her and Sheena. Because they always were like the people, they always were the ones that like people were like their men were borrowing, they always had the more money than their men usually, like, you know. And they were always like hustling and they were always like, you know, they seemed like they were good with their money other than the rest of the cast. And somehow but then she she was able to downgrade because she like sold a home and then just rent it and then live basically probably for free or probably like close to that with her boyfriend, I'm assuming. One second.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a cough. Oh my
okay.
god,
No
I feel
worries.
another one coming on. Hold on.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's these allergies are like attacking at all sides. So yeah, and then I guess when they broke up, now she's just renting, and I'm just assuming her rent is probably maybe it's less than her mortgage. So like either way, like, you know, and then her t-shirt company, I've never even seen it, so I don't know how lucrative that is. But they do still have that wine. Again, I don't know anyone who's ever bought that, but
What wine?
the Witches of WeHo.
Oh, that. Oh god.
You go, oh god.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I wouldn't buy anything with their names on it. So yeah.
yeah, and I would never want like any like witch wine. Like I don't want that. I don't want those spirits in my wine ski.
It actually just doesn't sound good. Like, would you like some wine that's named after witches? It just sounds weird. I don't.
I mean, maybe they got some new agey fans that are like, yeah, like, but who knows?
Duh.
But sorry, but that's not me. I forget what else do we want to say. What else happened? Oh, that fight. So y'all watched this episode, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how it's funny? Nobody's talking about white violence.
Gosh,
not to always
right?
bring it back to race, but when the violence is on Bravo, it just inherently comes up because Jesse is like physically fighting these people and there's no comment about we don't condone and blah 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 because people are violent. Unfortunately, it's not right, but they are. And the fact that they like make such a difference between when it's certain people being violent and other people violent, it's ridiculous
because they follow Giselle's lead.
Ugh. And then also like I was rooting for Kristen until the dinner. Like, girl, pipe down. She did not have to insert herself when it came to Jesse. She created that entire mess. He was literally in the corner moping. They should have just let him be. Kristen didn't need to insert herself in that particular moment. What do you guys think?
Adam, you go first.
I haven't seen the episode properly, but I know she kind of gets involved because she's got ammo on the woman, saying that I mean, she kind of seems bored. I don't know.
I don't know if she's bored, but I think she definitely wants to be involved in
Can
everything.
y'all hear me?
Yes.
Now we can. Now we can't.
It's a bit ASMR.
You there, baby? I don't know.
But because she said that she came up with like 3 different allegations or something that she and because of Kristen, I saw a clip online that it's now being kind of enforced in what's his name, Jesse's head, that Michelle is being unfaithful.
I mean, yeah, the big secret was that Michelle had a boyfriend for an entire year during their marriage.
I wonder if it was
Yeah.
this guy that she's with now.
I don't know, but like this is the thing. I said it before, I'll say it again. I actually feel really bad for Jesse. I think that Michelle
Same.
is the actual narcissist in the relationship. And she sort of does smear campaigns against him, and she gets all her little flying monkeys like Kristen. He's such a douche. Your wife says he's a douche. He's this, he's that, to smear him. When the truth is, it seems like Jesse has been faithful to her, wants to work it out, is trying to protect her, and hasn't actually like cheated on her. And she's the one who's been out here with a boyfriend for a year, then cheating on him publicly with the allegedly with the famous director at the chateau, and is basically telling everyone how horrible he is. And he's trying to save face with this whole like fake bravado, when truly he seems like he's heartbroken that his wife is cheating on him, embarrassing him, and isn't having sex with him and wants to divorce him. And the entire world knows, but somehow he's being made out to be the bad guy. Like Kristen literally said, I knew she had a boyfriend for a year, but I didn't care because Jesse was such a douche. That to me is narcissism 101. They will
Yeah.
do the most horrible things, and then they'll have people siding with them because they have maligned the other person's character so much. In what world, I don't care who you are, would have a boyfriend for an entire year outside of your marriage and have people say they don't care because the other person deserves it when that
Also,
person is not cheating?
it shows
You
that
see?
like your moral character because um like it's an uproar if it's not happening on your side, but if it's your side, all of a sudden you're overlooking it. It's like this weird team
Mm-hmm.
thing when it comes to people's morals. I'm inconsistent off the board. If my team, or I don't have teams except for God, but like if so far whoever I normally like is doing something wrong, then they're gonna get it too. Everyone can get it.
Exactly. Everyone can get it. Speaking of that, totally random. I keep getting these comments where people are like, why do you hate Ariana? And I'm like, I don't, I'm like, I can't, like, I
I
don't hate
can't.
her. I literally had to say,
I
I appreciate
still
you so much, but I just don't vibe with her persona on a reality television. I don't hate her. I have hate for no one, let alone somebody I've never met in reality.
you just don't like her personality. It's not
I just don't
hate.
like her personality. It's not hate at all.
You don't have to revive with
It
everyone. Like that's
Exactly.
like
that's life.
just because you don't like someone's personality doesn't automatically make that you hate and like curse the ground they walk on. People are
Yeah.
so extreme.
And the gag
I mean,
is if that
It's either
person
this or
did not
that mentality.
no, this is the gag. It's like if that person did not like Ariana either, then they would be like, "Yeah, Candy, great comments. Totally agree with you." But because they
Yeah.
like her, they're like, "You hate her." And I'm like, I don't hate any of these people.
That's how everything
You
is
know?
nowadays. That
Yeah.
it's like if you
but
don't
it's
like
so
this, then you're
weird.
automatically this extreme thing, and then we're putting you in
Yeah.
that box. It's like, no, that's not how
It's like
reality
I
works.
don't hate anybody. I don't know anybody to hate them.
You're like, I don't
It's
know them. Like, why would I hate
Yeah.
them?
it's kind of strange though because it's almost like there's no such thing as an in between or you want. It's like it's either you
Yeah.
are
That's what I mean.
it's either you're in love with someone or you have to
If
like
you're
someone
not
to
checking off this box, then
or
you're
you hate them.
automatically the worst thing ever.
It's literally. I mean, but that's kind of the thing now is that like people assume that everyone has to be one's buddy. I mean, like if even going back to the school days, you're not going to be best friends with everyone in your high school year. That's just not life, and it's the same with work or whatever. You click with people, and there's some people that you click with, but you're not close with. Like, you may work with them and you get on with them at work, but do you see each other out of work all the time? No.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's just
It's
it's
nuts.
like people don't understand that, and it's this
I feel bad for
weird. It's
Jess.
almost it's giving like cult mentality almost at this
Yeah.
point.
It's
We're too late.
very, very cultish. Very, very
We're too late
cultish.
in this game, and when it comes to this story, for people still to be doing that. So like that's already a bit unhinged for me to even like still feel that way. Like it's the whole like I don't know, trauma bonding should have worn off by now.
Yeah, it's like it's
So-
too much.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned.
And I've never said that I don't hate Ariana. I just don't vibe with whatever. And again, and I call it her persona because it is a persona on a reality TV show. I just don't vibe with it. Doesn't mean I dislike her, doesn't mean I hate her. I just don't vibe with the persona that she is showing on a reality television show.
The personality
Like
that she
that's
displays
literally it.
on the show is not someone that I would normally want to be friends with. Does that mean that I hate her? No.
Absolutely not.
That
I
means
don't
I
hate
would not want to
anybody.
be friends with her. I wouldn't enjoy her company. We wouldn't have great laughs and have a lot of things in common. Like,
And
people need
quite
to chill.
frankly, I don't think she would vibe with me.
Exactly.
Because I kind of keep it a little too 100.
And I don't think she would like that. Me
I
too.
don't think she would vibe
I
with
mean,
me.
I already told you everyone can get it, so that doesn't
Exactly.
seem like she
I'm
likes
going to
that
show
kind
you.
of thing.
I will show you a real cool girl.
I mean, I just want to see how Lala and her go at it. At the
I want to
reunion.
see the reunion.
I want to
And
see
I hope
Lala
it
just fill it
really
out.
delivers. I want it to really deliver. I don't want this fake like, oh, everything goes down at the reunion and then like nothing happens. I want something truly to happen. Like I want to know why Nick Viall switched from obsessing over Ariana to being like, oh no, like Sheena and Lala are the MVPs. Like, did he explain why he switched?
No, he just was pretty vague.
I didn't even know that they switched. That's weird.
He
Natasha, you're the one who told us that.
What? No, I didn't.
Yeah, you
You're
did last
confusing
time.
me. I swear to God. Nope. No.
I'm gonna go find it and show it to you.
Okay.
You said it.
No
You said
problem.
that Nick Viall said
I
that.
disagree.
Okay, said that Katie, no, not Katie, Lala and Sheena were the new MVPs. Or did you say it, Adam? But I'm pretty sure
Adam said it. Adam said it. Or someone else said it. I remember hearing it. I know I didn't say it because I remember hearing it.
So someone else said it, but I just added to it saying that I heard it.
Yeah,
Who
and
was
I was
the
like,
someone else?
Yeah.
Who was
I
the
forget
someone
that-
else?
There was like
it could have been
there was like
Kimberly or
oh yeah, Kim.
I
think
forget
it
who was on the
Kimberly.
panel at the
I
time.
believe it was Kimberly.
Which live were we talking about it? Because I'm gonna go back and listen.
I literally.
Does anyone remember in the chat so we can just end this? I'm just kidding.
No, I need the proof. I'll find it.
But in terms
You're
of
like,
the
you
reunion,
told us. I was like, no.
You did though.
No, I
but
didn't.
it-
You're gonna
it-
find out.
I'm gonna find out. I cannot wait to find out.
in
Me
the
too.
ter-
I can't wait for you to find out.
In terms of the Lala should get first chair. I know she was never going to get first chair, but she deserves first chair.
Agreed.
I just want to know. So, what do we think about what do you think about? Oh, we already discussed that. I feel like
What?
the whole thing about like Katie, her not saying a lot, but then again, she's worried about social persona, and also that is her business partner.
Yeah. And allegedly they're finally opening on May 22nd. So
Let's not hold our breath.
We'll see.
They've been saying they said May 22nd a couple times. To be fair,
Time will tell.
But May
including
22nd
2023 May 22nd. I feel like.
Wait, how long ago did they announce this business venture again? Like, it was the start of season 10, right? They announced it in season 10 that they were going to do this.
No, they announced it season 9 or 8. Because they were doing something about her when Tom and Ariana were still together. Because remember, Katie wanted to be a part of Shorts and Sandy's, and Tom Schwartz wanted her to be, but Tom Sandoval didn't. So when Tom Schwartz basically like turned his back on Katie and was like, yeah, you can't be a part of it anymore, that's when Ariana swooped in and said, I'll do it with you.
Yeah,
and
I
it was
remember
also
that.
during the time
She's
when
like, I'll
Lala
do it.
when Lala and Randall were even still together, because there was that whole scene when Katie when Katie and Ariana was pitching Randall to be an investor. So this had to be about season 9 or 8.
So it really has been 500 years since they announced this. Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And also, I'm feeling like a little anxious right now because
Okay.
tomorrow is my birthday and it's a big
What?
one.
Oh my God! Happy
Oh,
birthday!
happy
But it's like a
birthday in
big one.
advance.
It's a big one where like you feel weird about it. Big one.
Oh my God! We have to celebrate. We got to do something. Why are you just telling us now?
Because I get the birthday blues.
Oh my God!
And I feel
No,
vulnerable.
no, we're not gonna. No.
I feel vulnerable.
DM me your availability. We'll do a birthday live and stuff for you. Yeah, we gotta celebrate if you want. If you feel uncomfortable, we don't have to. But if you want to, I would love to celebrate you.
Oh,
And you
that's
don't have to
sweet.
say what number. It's just your birthday and we're having fun.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, let me know. DM me however you feel comfortable. If you don't,
Yeah.
I'll just love you over Instagram. But if you do, we can have a live or something and talk about fun stuff, whatever you want to talk about, and have like a fun birthday party. See, Miss T says yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
of course. And
Yeah, I'm not really.
keep your age to yourself. That's your business, boo boo. But we still can celebrate you.
Okay.
That's right. We love a party. Shout out to Miss T, my ma. She holds me down. Beautiful, gorgeous. We love you, Miss T.
Miss T,
Yes.
Yeah.
love you too. Yeah, I don't know. I
That's
always get
right.
so
DGF
weird
says
about my
happy
birth.
birthday.
But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I always feel vulnerable around my birthday. I don't know why, but I've always been that way.
Because you're a woman in our society and we're conditioned to worry about our birthdays.
And it's not even that. I just feel like it's just like I always call it the birthday blues because I just get like weird. I don't
Aw.
know.
Well, we're gonna make it the birthday. Yay! Instead of the birthday. I don't know. Leave me alone. I'm trying. The birthday something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was arguing with a few of my like best friends and like they were like telling me
Melancholy.
they were like, what do you
Yes,
want?
the
Blah blah
birthday is
blah.
a
And I'm
blessing.
like, I like
Exactly.
canceled on them like 5 times already because I've been like so like kind of like they're like gonna kill
No, go
me.
out and do your thing. Go out in your real life, do your thing. But your online life, girl, let me know. We'll celebrate you.
Okay.
Of
Thank
course. Let me
you.
know what time, what date,
You're
and
right.
what you
Birthdays
want to
are a
talk about.
blessing. I should.
Yes,
Not
birthdays
everyone
are a
gets to live
blessing.
like
And
that
look how many
long.
people love you. All your friends want to do stuff and you're canceling on them. We all want to celebrate you. That's a lot. That's a lot to celebrate. That's right. We want to have fun and let's celebrate in any way possible. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So
All
let
right.
me know
Enough
when you're
about me.
free. Let me know when you're free and we'll plan it. It'll be fun.
Okay, let's change the subject because I'm feeling weird now. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I just get all weird. I don't know. I get sheepish and weird and vulnerable.
It's okay. It's time to
Okay. So back to
expand.
all right, back to the show, Ski.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a flattering picture of Jesse.
That's not a flattering picture of any of. They all seem like CGI. Like,
right, Janet? What is going on with You're
it all,
right.
yeah, it's very
The
Photoshop.
only half decent
CGI.
one is literally Jax and Go Figure.
I know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'd say the same.
Yeah, agree.
Like, look at Nina's face.
what-
She's like arguably the most beautiful one there. Why would they pick that picture?
It all seems computer generated.
Yeah, it
I
really
mean,
does.
well, the giveaway is the background. That basketball hoop in the background just looks
Yeah,
so
it's all
fake.
fake.
That doesn't
Yeah.
even look like it's like the right angle. So look,
No.
physics would have that falling down.
It
So
looks
Yeah,
like it looks like a poster for like a horror movie. Like
really
you don't
does.
know what street you moved
like
into.
a picture perfect town until
It
someone
all
moved
melts
in next door.
away.
Yeah,
Dun, 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 dun.
exactly.
Hmm.
Natasha, I think you got an echo or something. I hear. Like,
Okay,
something
Mr.
in the background.
Investigator. Thank you. Is that okay?
Everybody's salty right now.
Yes.
Salty,
Should be fun.
salty. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
And
gone.
Jackson
The
is like
magic
fake hair. Bye bye.
Fake
That's
hair.
Oh
money
yeah.
grab.
Look, everybody has a hustle. Everybody's trying to get that coin. I think the biggest thing is, did you guys hear the rumor that Jax had sex with the publicist in a bathroom?
Yes.
What?
He loves bathrooms, remember?
Yes, Miss T, bad Photoshop collage. Exactly.
Yeah, they literally
Exactly.
look like they cut and paste. They first cartoonize them a little bit, and then they literally just like cut and paste them and move them around.
What do you think about the whole Katie Brittany fallout? Is it like, because I'm not a fan of either of them. I just so
Well,
I
from what I feel like the way they tell the story is very different.
Yeah.
So
I think Katie just stopped rocking with Brittany because Stassi stopped rocking with Brittany. And the friendship between Katie and Brittany wasn't important enough to her to hold on to it outside of her friendship with Stassi.
yeah, and I feel like Katie Katie doesn't like Jax, so that's one. And you're right, the whole thing about Stassi. And even that story is a little bit different because they're like Stassi just was unreasonable, but according to Katie, they canceled literally the day of, despite telling everyone for weeks that they weren't going and they were going to a golf tournament. And then and then all of a sudden they got quiet and pretended to have something come up. So like they were like, okay, so you're lying, and then so you knew all along, which means you could have canceled. And then the nerve to pretend like there was something came up and you're so sad. It was just like you're literally lying and you're also doing something kind of crappy by like canceling last minute, you know? The day of, really, even if it was
Yeah.
legitimate, the day of that you're supposed to literally go to the airport.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I think it's the lying, and then it's also the bad mouthing in the group chat.
Yeah, I think it was just the camel that broke the whatever straw. The camel.
The straw that broke the camel's back.
The camel broke someone's back, and that's what happened. Yeah, I think so too. So I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, Michelle has dark energy. Very dark energy.
Michelle is in my opinion very. I think she's the meanest one out of her and Jesse. I think she does the most dirt, and I think she's just maligned Jesse so much that he's just the scapegoat. I feel bad for Jesse. Justice for Jesse.
I agree.
Justice for Jesse.
And yeah, he's walling out and not acting great, but like, I mean, he's going through stuff, so we'll give him a little grace. But yeah, Michelle is. I don't hear her say anything that I'm like, okay. Like, she doesn't seem like she has a great character at all.
I mean, she had a boyfriend for an entire year in her marriage. That right there shows you her character. If you're really that miserable in your marriage, get a divorce. Or no, you wait until you get a reality TV show to go on TV to divorce.
It's almost like the equivalent. If we had known this couple for as long as they've been together, it would have been the same, almost the same. Well, no, because we don't know the other person that well. But like, you know what I mean?
If you just would have flipped it, if it turned out that Jesse had a girlfriend for an entire year in his marriage, could you imagine? And then everyone said, "Oh, Michelle deserved it because she's bitchy." Like the world would be turned upside down if the roles were reversed. If this man had a girlfriend for a year in his marriage and his guy friend said, yeah, he was screwing another woman for a year, but I didn't care because Michelle's kind of bitchy. Could you imagine? It would be crazy, but somehow it would be wild. But somehow, because the roles are reversed and all of a sudden, well, Jesse deserved it. I don't care who you are, unless Jesse was, and it doesn't seem like he has been because it's not coming out, unless Jesse himself was actively cheating on her at the time. That's one thing. If your man is out there cheating on you and you have a little piece on the side, fine, he deserved it. But if you were in this, I don't care if you're not happy, but you're still committed and you have a whole other person for a year that everybody knows about, that's on you. Because if you're so unhappy, get divorced. Get divorced.
I agree. And that's the whole thing that we always said.
I said this from jump. I said Michelle is dark and she's and I said this, I don't like calling women nasty, but to me, she seems like a very nasty person. Right? Michelle seems very nasty, very nasty, very mean. Fake energy. As hell energy.
Very,
and I feel really bad for Jesse. I feel really bad for him. Yeah.
How long were they married for?
At least 3 years because the baby's 3 and they were married before the baby.
So I'm guessing like 4.
4 to 5, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Wow. And she had a
For an
she was
entire year of that.
I'm sorry, an entire year having affairs is
She-
ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
her
That's
middle name must
ridiculous.
That is so
her,
long too. Like, what
Mhm.
are you doing?
her middle name must be calculated because like
Oop.
literally that is just something else.
And to know that she's doing that while on here, like saying how Jesse's like a piece of crap.
Yeah, it's all manipulation. It's like a narcissist 101. They want to get away with their dirt, so in order for them to do that, they have to be the victim. So whoever they're going against has to be the villain, and that's why they do smear campaigns. And then they get their little flying monkeys like a Kristen Jody to basically spread that narrative. She literally said it at the table. She said he's such a douchebag, and then she proves it by saying even his wife calls him a douchebag. So basically, you're regurgitating what the wife said. That's called a smear campaign, and now you've become a flying monkey because now you're doing her dirty work.
See, this is Kristen going to learn her lesson about this stuff or no?
Because that's the thing. None of them even rock with Kristen. None of them like, hello, Kristen, you're being set up. Not even your little pick-me friend Jasmine has your back. She's talking crap about you every single episode.
Does this. She's willing to like sacrifice her integrity for all these people all the time.
Because she's a pick-me. She is like ultimate pick-me energy.
Ultimate pick-me.
And also this show was so cringy when Jasmine and Jax were one-on-one having a conversation. He looked so uncomfortable. She looked like an amateur because clearly these two people do not know each other.
Why would they ever hang out one-on-one?
Why would they ever
They're
hang
not
out one-on-one?
Good friends. It was weird. Like
Jax
they're literally not friends.
So uncomfortable. He looked like, I don't want to say the wrong thing because you're black and I've been fired for being a racist, so I feel really awkward. And then she looked like, I'm coming to do my job and this is what the producers told me to say. So yeah, Jax, let's just pretend we're friends. It was the most awkward exchange, so fake. I don't think these two people have ever spoken before in life. It just was so, and all of a sudden Jax is like trusting Jasmine with this huge secret. Like, don't say anything, Jasmine. But like, this is what the secret is.
And it made no sense. Why is he picking her? Why wouldn't he like tell one of his friends that we know they are actively friends?
They just had to make their diversity hires make sense. So they're like, let's have Jasmine and Jax have a conversation. Let's give Jasmine a storyline. Tell her, bring her back this bone to pick. I don't think Jasmine is friends with any of those people in real life. Barely Kristen. Definitely not Jax. Ridiculous.
Isn't it that Jasmine is just like a friend of the show or something?
Jasmine and Zach are friends of.
Do they play
the two minorities, and by minority, he's LGBTQIA. Yeah.
Do they play a good role as friends off, or are they kind of like non-existent?
You didn't watch the show?
I would say
not religiously. No.
Jasmine's kind of non-existent. Zach is kind of doing the most because he's been thrown in drama with like Kristen, Janet, and Michelle. However, the two of them who seemingly have been brought in through Kristen, at least that's the storyline, have no allegiance to her. They just talk crap about her. They protect other people, and it just all seems very fake.
Seems like a very superficial relationship if they do have one.
And it seems like everybody, and I mean everybody on the cast, other than Kristen and Luke, got the memo that we are all going to protect each other, and we're going to let crazy Kristen and weirdo Luke, who's growing on me, honestly, take the fall. So everything that happens, it's crazy Kristen's fault, Luke, whatever. We're all going to protect each other when it's clear that all these people don't even really know each other like that. Like, I don't even think the couples are really friends like that, especially Danny and Nia. They don't really seem that close to this group.
I can't see Nina and Danny hanging out with Jesse and Michelle.
Yeah.
I can see Nina hang out with Brittany because Brittany I think she's the type of person that can hang out with a lot of different people, or she's fake enough to, or whatever you want to call it. But Michelle, I don't think Michelle is friends with any of these ladies. And I think Jax does and Danny do know Jesse, but like they might be like kind of far away friends. But I don't think Michelle's friends with any of them. But then again, how would Kristen know about her secret? I wonder. That's
I
the
mean,
only thing.
It doesn't seem like it's a secret. Because even Jesse said, "Don't say anything about life I don't know." I think everybody knew. I think Kristen was just saying it was a secret to give that sort of like threat. And again, I think they all made that pact not to turn on each other. So I don't think the fact that Michelle was allegedly, we'll say, having the affair with the director, I don't think that was a secret. And I don't think the fact that Michelle had a boyfriend for a year, allegedly, was a secret either. I just think that those are things that everybody kind of knows, but nobody was going to bring to the show.
So you think Jesse was being fake when he was talking about how infidelity would be the deal breaker?
I don't think he was being fake. I think he was being in Delulu land. Because the thing is, if he admits to the world that he knows his wife has been cheating on him or is cheating on him, and he still fights for it and stays, that's a huge ego. That's a huge hurdle to get over.
Yeah, because men are going to call
stay,
them that one word.
Yeah, and all that stuff. But to stay, and also for his own sanity, but to stay in denial, which is a very comfortable coping mechanism. It's not the healthiest thing, but it's a very normal, natural thing that our minds do to ourselves. To stay, that's why there is a thing called denial, because your brain is trying to protect you. So instead of accepting the truth, you deny the truth because maybe you're not emotionally ready to accept it yet.
Yeah.
It's not actually mentally and emotionally
don't have the emotional strength
for you to have that capacity. That's why a lot of people live in denial for very long times. Like the first step to getting any type of help is getting out of denial and admitting that something's wrong. And Jesse, to me, seems like a man who's in denial. So I don't think he's lying to us. I think he's lying to himself.
Good. Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's such a good line.
And that's why he says, before we came, I was talking with the couples therapist guru guy for an hour, and he was trying to explain to me that like my marriage was over and she might wanting to be like divorce me. And it's like, well, duh. Like that's what's been happening this whole time. She literally said to your face, I know you want to be in this marriage, but I don't know what I want. She's had a boyfriend for a year.
One-on-one.
And and that's why they had the one-on-one, because I think that she's been very clear. I don't want you because I settled for you in the first place. You've never been good enough for me. And this is a cautionary tale on both sides. Don't ever settle. You don't have to settle. And also don't marry someone who settles for you. You deserve better than that.
Okay,
on both sides.
I bet once she found out that they were going to get this show, I bet
100%.
that's why she decided to like continue to fake the marriage.
100%. 100%.
There you go.
Like we
Bingo,
always
bingo.
said, they are the couple that came on the show to divorce.
Damn.
She's like, I'm gonna hold off for another year just to so I can get the benefits of this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. That's why she's like, clearly, girl, why is she not leaving? She doesn't like him at all. She basically says that out loud, and she's cold as ice, has zero emotion toward him.
Yep.
It's like I've seen people get divorced.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah, when he broke down and was like, actually, like, I want to fight. Like, this is my family. Like, he's the type of guy that, like, all jokes aside, he might be a little douchey, but like marriage does actually mean something to him, and I respect that, because I feel like we need more of that in this world.
Thank you.
But marriage did mean something to him.
Yeah,
And
of course.
although he may not have always been perfect, he recognized the value of, like, he has a family, and it's worth fighting for. And she's just like, see ya, but I'm going to pretend and just make him look like the bad guy and just like stick around. So when I do leave, which I'm obviously going to do, I won't look like the bad guy, and I'll still have the audience approval. Oh my gosh, that's it.
Calculated.
That's it. Bingo Bango was its name now. Oh my god.
Oh well.
Oh my god, Adam!
What
Not your commentary too is so funny. Anyway,
what is your take in terms of this show getting renewed? You think it's definitely going to get renewed at this rate? Or
I think we will get a season 2 because I think that Lala and Sheena are going to join, and I hope Danny and Nia drop out. Not because I don't like them, but because I really like them, and I want to like protect their marriage. So I think that the addition of Lala and Sheena will be interesting. So yeah,
we need someone more toxic, not because we want toxicity, just because. But like they're too precious.
Yeah, it's
they
like
don't
protect
belong
them
in
at
the
all
show.
costs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think they'll get a season 2. I do.
would you like to see Trashy Kristen return?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Chris returning. I don't mind Kristen so much.
Because if Lala is there, then that would be very fascinating. Because Lala and Kristen fell out like 5 months ago or something, and it was like, and apparently Kristen.
Well, then that'll be a show if they're both on at the same time.
Because Kristen supposedly is devastated by her and friendship with Lala, which makes no sense because the whole time Lala was on Vanderpump, she pretty much showed nothing but like calling her all names in the book.
Other.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just saw a clip on Instagram how she was expressing how she, because Lala said she doesn't miss anything about Kristen.
Yeah, I'm gonna need Lala to like. I know she's pregnant, and Mazel Tov, congratulations, but she's getting to be a little bit bitter. There's a little bit of bitterness to her. I agree with the majority of what she's saying, but energetically, she's a little bitter, and I'm gonna need her to clean that up before she comes to the valley. Because I don't want to see just bitter people on the show. That's not fun to watch. Like on Vanderpump Rules, even though I agree with what she's saying, it's a little bitterness in how she's saying it, if that makes sense.
Do you think she's a bit too big for her boots? What would you mean?
No,
Like,
I don't think she's too big for her boots. I just think that there's something. Maybe it's unhappiness. Maybe it's something like that. Because what she's saying, the content of what she's saying, I actually like primarily agree with. Not all of it, but the majority of it. But there's just like energetically, it seems like maybe she's like, I don't know. Maybe I think her and Katie are both probably unhappy. Put it that way.
I mean, yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you two still watch Summer House?
I do.
What do you
Hot
think?
mess.
What do you think about that show's future?
I mean, I hope it's canceled.
I was just gonna say, I think it's gonna wrap up pretty soon.
I'm done with it. We could call that one. We could call it a day. Because again, everyone's phoning it in. Nobody really cares. Like, and I don't know what it is, but like I never understand what Sierra is saying. Like she always seems like spaced out to me.
Oh, I like her.
And
really, does she ever talk in sentences? Like I never understand what she's saying.
And all of a sudden, when she was on Watch What Happens Live with Tyler Cameron, like all of a sudden she
was so mean to him.
But all of a sudden her I think she was just playing like hard to get, like kind of. But all of a sudden her southern accent just suddenly emerged. I was like,
no, she always has that. Like, she always has that like Atlanta accent.
Yeah, but it was like it was way more enhanced. Like, cause he's kind of like Florida kind of stuff. He kind of has that. And she has like that Florida country accent, and she has like the Southern Atlantic. But like, she sounds like a Valley girl when she's like in New York all the time. And then all of a sudden she was like had a twang, and I was like, what is this? I mean, like she had a draw, but like it was like, okay, girl, I see you. And bangs, like you need to cut them a little shorter.
I mean,
I don't know. Her and is his name Cameron or Tyler?
Tyler, I think.
Tyler Cameron, right? Yeah. No, the two of them were beefing. That was not flirtation. No.
Really?
That was not sexual tension. They were not getting along.
Really?
100%.
I see. I looked at her face. I could tell she found him attractive.
Because
no, I think you find him attractive.
I mean, guilty.
Right.
I
I
mean,
think that's what you were seeing. But between the two of them, no, they were beefing.
because I saw
Now
a clip.
you calling me out.
I
Yep.
saw a clip. I saw a clip online that what's his name, West, still wants to take things further with Sierra.
She goes, I think you
That's
find
just
him attractive.
that is such a fake. That is such a fake relationship. He does not like her.
He might not even like women. That's up to debate.
Oh my God.
Ayo.
Red flag, red flag.
Sorry.
I got told off last time. It's okay. It was your turn. But yeah. But I don't know. The one that annoys
Which
me
is
the
perfectly
most.
fine, by the way. However,
the one that annoys me the most on the show is Danielle. That woman just. To me, there is something wrong with her. She seems
me too.
always...
There's something in my spirit where she bugs, and it's like there's something really like it's almost like creepy to me. Actually, I kind of get a similar but different creep vibe from Lindsay. But like
Yes.
Danielle in particular, like there's something weird and unhinged about her that kind of like almost freaks me out.
What do you think of what's her name, Gabby?
She kind of gives me pick me vibes too.
She's very pick me. It's just like I want them to pick women who are more healed. Because we're watching a lot of unhealed women who are like Gabby is so in her trauma, in her so pick me era. She's not fun to watch.
But a lot of healed women aren't going to go on reality television, unfortunately.
I wish they would.
I mean, she's up Lindsay's ass. Like, I mean,
I wish they would. I mean, like Lisa Vanderpump, she seems pretty healed, and she's on there. You know,
I know, but she's also like married. But I'm talking about like millennial type
younger ones.
woman. Yeah.
I mean, if you were in Amanda's position, you would be divorced by now. Like the fact that this marriage so cool is still a thing is beyond. I mean, the hatred and
I think they're holding on.
disdain.
I think they're holding on until they get canceled.
And then we're gonna get a divorce statement.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a very bad sign that Kyle doesn't want to move or he's hesitant about the whole having a kid thing.
I mean, I think it's a bad sign when he says, "Let's go to couples therapy," and she laughs in his face and said no.
Yeah.
like
whoa.
Emasculating him.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she needs to stop emasculating him. It's inappropriate. I don't like it. It's like we get it. He's funny. He's goofy. He has self-deprecating humor or whatever. But like, you don't need to constantly do that. It looks weird, and he doesn't like it, and it's gonna wear on your man. Like if you keep doing that over and over again.
It's another Michelle and Jesse where it's like, oh wait, it's actually the woman that's the villain. Like I feel bad for Kyle.
So do I.
I feel bad for him because all the girls are always like, oh, Kyle, you're this, you're that. And he's like, actually, I'm like, let's go to couple therapies. Let's work on our communication. I actually don't think we're in a strong enough position to have children. You know, I don't want to move out of the city because that's where my mental health and support system is. You know, all of these things. And they're like bashing him because he's like, I'm working because I want to build financially up to support my wife and my children, and then I also want us to have a healthy relationship before we bring children into the dynamic. And they're like going after him like he's the bad guy,
like he's toxic or something.
It's weird because, like, I mean, to me, if that really is the case that they're just holding up for the show to get cancelled and then divorced, I mean, that just says it all. I mean. There are some people on these shows that just seem to put on a mask too much. I mean, with the Valley, that whole thing with this Michelle woman, that kind of you guys probably won't get the reference, but Candy will. She gives us Ruby from Made in Chelsea vibes.
Oh my god! Don't even get me started. That toxic little troll.
Ruby is literally the worst.
The worst.
She is literally the fakest of them all.
She's so mean. She is so mean. That's why I don't like her.
What's he doing?
She's a mean being.
What she did to Inga was unforgivable.
Mean bean.
What she did to Inga was really just unforgivable.
Horrible.
What'd she do? You're gonna leave us hanging?
She pretty much.
It's just I don't even. You go.
She pretty much. made the implication that she is worthless of a human being, and she was
For what
only
reason?
because she's not from. So a lot as you've used to watch the show, you know, a lot of the people well-to-do. She kept on throwing it in Inga's face that you're not Chelsea, you're not this.
Oh, she was classist?
Pretty much. And she also degraded her, saying S blank blank T. Something that rhymes with touch.
Okay, King Tut.
Yeah. But and just loads of, you know, and the biggest hypocrisy is that she's one of these people who says, I'm a girl's girl.
Poof. Oh, God.
And
how old is she?
32.
Oh, she's in her 30s. Ugh,
yeah,
that's bad.
Ruby.
The way you're describing her, I would have been like, I was waiting for you to say 21 or something, and like sometimes people like that grow out of it. But if you're in your 30s and you're still doing that, that's bad. Not that it's ever okay, but like again,
she's turning 28. Okay, but even so,
but that's still way like you're like, girl, why are you still trying to be a mean girl and like saying like that stuff just sounds immature.
If you, so you know when Lala first joined Vanderpump Rules, you had Stacy, Katie, all of them calling Lala the other woman, and S ** T.
Yeah.
Pretty much imagine that, but not a group of people. One single person is causing a scene the whole time and trying to be like this religious saint when in fact she's a nasty, evil person.
Oop.
And my friend.
Does she have any friends? Do people like her on that show?
Somehow, unfortunately, yes.
Or does she have like flying monkeys or whatever?
I mean, she's a bit too big for her boots. I mean, she recently said on the show that she thought that she is the MVP in terms of girls.
She thought she was like the #1 girl.
Yeah, and which she would never be, because she's only known to me on the show as a manipulative liar that always wants to be with this guy, but then pars him off and cheats on him.
Ew, so she's a cheater too? Like she like uses her guy? Ew.
Yeah, she used her guy to get on the show and then cheated on him.
Yuck.
So imagine.
Can we get a pic, Candy? Can you pull up a pic of her? I'm a visual learner.
Yeah, 1 second.
It might hurt Candy's eyes, but she can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ruby hurts my eyes at times.
Oh no.
I mean, I just don't understand how, you know, the fact that she wasn't the only reason, because there was other opportunities, but she is one of the key reasons why Inga left the show, because she just felt enough was enough.
She's like, I'm not gonna get like bullied by this ridiculous woman on national TV.
Yes, literally. And I mean to put it into context, Candy and I would have to like smoke like loads of weed to be anywhere near this girl, because like literally I don't know. Even if I was flat out,
I don't think Candy would be able to be, period, because she's empathic, and like when you're around nasty energy like that, you can feel it right away. It doesn't matter what.
If you're high,
yeah. Sometimes when it only gets more enhanced. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and I don't smoke.
Yeah, I mean I don't either. Like,
yeah, I can't really picture you. I don't either.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I once got high from Second Degree, which was embarrassing, but that's
Ruby.
Oh,
she's very nasty. Her and Liz Bentley wasn't as bad, but them together was like, ugh.
Liv was Liv. I really
Yeah,
liked her.
Liv wasn't as bad, but Ruby, I could not stand her. First of all, she was so mean to all the girls. She gaslit people. She bullied people. She's a nasty person. I didn't like her.
Like,
No.
Because unfortunately now you have her minion, aka Yasmin.
I can't stand Yasmin. I can't stand. I can't. Hi, Irene. She says Heidi from New Mexico, Candy and Candy Cane Land. Hey, sweetheart.
Hi, Irene.
Hi, Irene.
But I mean, Yasmin, like
not me googling who Jasmine is now.
Yeah, Yasmin pretty much.
With a Y?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What's her last name? Do we know or no?
It's Z-Wiggers. ZWEGG. It should come up.
Z? Can you explain to me what letter that is? I'm just kidding. You know,
my God.
It's just like
Z. No.
That's so crazy that you guys just decided to like rename Z. Like, why is Z Z?
No, you renamed Z because you guys with your accent like could not say Z. I don't know.
We could say Z. I don't know. But like, I'm just like, how did that happen? I just really want to know. Okay. Anyway, let's see who this person is.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, Yasmin is pretty much. If Ruby had a company, Yasmin would be like the first intern in that company, like literally. Like,
Interesting. Now let me see Yasmin and Ruby together, so I can like maybe I'll get a scene vibe. Okay, it's not much going on. Okay, there's okay. They keep showing a third blonde girl in the mix with them. Is she another one with them?
I would have to see what she would look like.
Emily Blackwell.
Oh no, I like Emily. She's usually brunette. So if she's blonde, that must be an old picture. Because she's usually brunette. I like Emily.
Yeah, she's okay. She's not.
I died when what's her ex-boyfriend's name? Who is
Harvey.
also
Harvey.
What'd you say? Harvey.
Harvey.
I died when Harvey like read her for filth when they were in Mallorca? Where were they? I forgot. It was one of the like Made in Chelsea like travel spin-offs, and he was like, yeah, I care about him because he's my future, but not about you because like you're my past. I was like, oh my god, and he just like read her for filth, and I was like, I am obsessed.
Mallorca, yeah.
Because Harvey was right. Like Emily had to like calm down. It's like you're in this place with your new boyfriend, like let it go. And he just like read her for filth. It was insane. Beautiful.
I mean, Harvey, like he's pretty much on the show known for cheating on women, but like, I like it. I like his scenes with Tristan.
I like Tristan.
Yeah, I mean, he's your MCM, isn't he? Your man crush Monday.
Oh wow!
Man crush Monday.
What a throwback! Haven't heard that in a long time.
Right? Oh my gosh.
But I haven't seen this week's episode just because I've been crazy busy, and but I'm so intrigued to know when Lisa Vanderpump's nephew comes on.
Yeah, he has not yet made an appearance. Not as of yet.
Candy, you sound like you're like hacking into the mainframe over there.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, like the Spy Kids commercials where you're like, you hear them going, "Okay, I'm almost there.
Sorry,
I think I'm in. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, I'm mute.
Oh my god, ASMR. but yeah.
Wait, I think I'm in. Okay, I'm in. I'm just kidding. It wasn't that bad.
Lisa Vanderpump's nephew is in like the financial future because he's all about fintech and all that good stuff. And even though they don't see each other that often, I have seen him on what's his name, James's story, as in James Kennedy. quite a few times, but I don't know. The cast though is quite weird. Like this 19-year-old is a bit annoying, and kind of has nothing in common with the rest of them. But what's your take on Lauren, Candy?
I need them to cast women who are more healed, because she clearly likes Tristan, but she's so afraid to be vulnerable in a relationship with him that she keeps sabotaging it. But then she gets mad at him when he isn't into her. But it's like, you keep telling him, I don't want to be with you. I don't want anything serious. Let's play it by ear. We're going to be friends. And then she gets mad when he does that. So it's almost like you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like she to me is the problem.
Exactly.
But I do think she's really pretty, and I love her fashion.
I mean, I'm intrigued how she met what's his name, Calvin Harris.
Oh, I think anybody could meet Calvin Harris.
Because Calvin Harris, because
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, he's kind of cheesy.
Yeah, I'm like in like old news.
I mean, Calvin Harris. I don't know. She mentioned that somehow she was at one of his parties. I don't know. It was very weird, but.
Final thoughts, you guys. I need to.
Right,
go
I gotta wrap it up.
Me too.
Yeah, I can't lie. It's soon for my bedtime here, but because, you know, because I'm in the future. You see. So.
Thank you y'all for those birthday blessings. It means a lot. To all the candy canes in the chat, appreciate it. I don't really have much to say. I'm kind of tired. Actually, I kind of don't feel good, so I want to go to bed early and get my snooze on. I'm gonna take a little elderberry.
Nice.
Yeah,
birthday.
All right, love y'all. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Much love. Happy birthday in advance.
Happy birthday, Natasha.
Bye. Why can't I get out?
Go, Adam. Final thoughts.
Okay, my final thoughts is that unless what happens in fruition with Beverly Hills is with what you said, unless that actually happens with Dorit and Kyle being realists on screen, Dorit can go, no thank you. I don't want to see your broke man with his obesity problems again on my screen. You know, I feel bad for the people who didn't get their airplane tickets because he took up 3 seats, but you know, but in terms of the Beverly Hills, obviously I would love Lisa to come back, because to me, even though you know what's done is done, I kind of just not even just because someone who's British, but just because I like Lisa as someone on a show. I was annoyed that when she left, you know, I feel obviously she went through a lot and what have you, but because then it became the Kyle Richards staple, you know, this is my show, blah blah blah, I'm the only OG, egotistical, bragging. With Vanderpump, the trashy two can never come back. I mean, they're not welcome in my book. And for Britney to pretend that she's this innocent, like deer in a woodland, I don't know. To me, she is far from that. She there's something not okay. I feel that she's wearing like 500 masks on her face. I just think overall with a lot of these shows there needs to be a bit more clarity.
Yeah.
And also just a bit more, not necessarily breaking the fourth wall, but I want entertainment that, you know, actually grips you to the screen.
Oops. Yeah.
Because with Vanderpump Rules, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to get cancelled because even though the ratings aren't the best, they're still better than the other shows on the network predominantly.
Okay.
But I feel that I want that
Uh-huh.
that edge. That edge. You know, with Vanderpump Villa, how you said, you know, fresh people, entertainment, not a dull. You know, of course, every single episode has some moment that is, you know, not as hyped, but generally
Right.
speaking, all the episodes are entertaining. Episode 6 still hasn't come out. My friend actually wrote to Disney and got an apology.
Oh wow.
Because she wanted to watch it and she just said
And it wasn't there.
No, they said it should be here tomorrow, so
Oh,
hopefully,
good.
but I can watch it then. Was episode 6 a very did it blow out the park? Decent quality?
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one.
okay.
I have thoughts on it for sure.
What's your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are everything's really kind of been said. You know, like I would love Lisa Vanderpump to come back, but she's booked and busy. Dorit only could come back if she's going to be honest. And Kyle can only come back if she's going to be honest. Like, I think that the producers did a big missed opportunity. I think that they sort of fell for the okie doke. Like, I think that Kyle and Morgan Wade was a red herring. I think Kyle was like, look over here with me and Morgan, to really deflect from everything going on with her and Mauricio, what's really going on with her and Dorit. And I think that's where the actual story is. So if I'm the producers, I'm not going to be like, you can't come back if you don't tell the truth about Morgan Wade. If I'm the producers, I'm like, you can't come back if you don't tell the truth about your marriage, about you and Mauricio. Why are you divorcing? What really happened? You and Dorit, why are you and her falling out and not speaking? If you can't come back until you start telling the truth about your real life. I think Morgan Wade was nothing but a dangling carrot, red herring that the producers fell for because they're not really tapped into what's really going on. Morgan Wade and Kyle is not the story. What did Mauricio do is the story. What role did Dorit play in that is the story. Morgan Wade is just, to me, a PR relationship and is a red herring distractor. And I think the producers really missed the mark because I personally don't really care about Kyle and Morgan Wade, but I care about Kyle and Mauricio. I care about Kyle and Dorit. So I think they missed the mark. I don't really want, who cares about Morgan Wade? Not in a mean way, but in a real way. But,
yeah, literally.
You know what I mean?
Literally.
Who cares? Who cares? But I want to know, what was it that Mauricio did that made Kyle lose her trust? What was the moment where she can't go back from? Why does she have such vitriol and disdain and disgust with him after being up his butt for 28 years? What really happened? That is the story for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, not Morgan Wade. So I think they completely missed the mark. Completely. That's where I stand. But I gotta go. I am so tired.
Yeah. One last thing, and that is that Towie is not worth your time. So don't give it any chances.
I won't. It was on Hulu, so I was trying it, but it's really bad.
It's pretty chavvy, and the people there are just nothing special.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely when I've watched episode 6, I will let you know.
Yeah, let me know and we'll do a live.
And that Hannah, she's a feisty one.
Mm-hmm.
But take care and have a good rest of your day, and definitely look forward to the next live.
Me too. Thank you, Adam. Mwah. And thank you, Natasha.
Bye.
Mwah. Happy birthday. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Irene, Miss T, my mod. Thank you so much for holding me down as always. I really appreciate you. DGF, D. Dot, how are you? Barbara, what is up? Tay and Mademoiselle, how are you? Everybody, thank you so much for coming in. Was that Cancer Queen? Hey, Cancer Queen. What's up, sweetheart? Hey, Dream Pro. Hey, Equal Love. Everybody, thank you so much. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.